Okay, everybody, we are live, man. We are live. What is going on, everybody? It is your boy MM2K here again with your other host, not Herman. I don't know why I have Herman Host on the brain. With your other host, Cold Blood Sensei. Cold Blood, how you been, my brother? What's going on, man?
I'm good, bro.
Good. Man. Man. I don't know about this Monster Hunter Wilds, man. I don't know if it's going to do as well as Avowed. What do you think? Numbers ain't looking too good, man. Avowed and Indiana Jones, I think you're beating it, you know?
Yeah, I only see zeros, bro. I can't even see a number there. I don't know what's up with it.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, woo, you talk about crazy launch numbers. Yeah, there you have it. Yeah. Did you get your copy yet?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm playing right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Monster Hunter Wilds is tearing it up on PC at the very least. I didn't take a look and see how many ratings there were on PlayStation, even though that's not going to give you the full scope of how many people are playing it. But I think it's safe to assume there are a crap ton of people that are playing it. And even though the PlayStation 5
go on Xbox. Go on Xbox. Look on Xbox.
let's see how many people on Xbox. Hold on. You know what? I don't know if you know they can give it to us. Xbox. They'll give us the numbers.
No, you can look if it's the most played game right now. You can do that.
Well, there's 139 views. I mean, not views. There's 139 ratings on Xbox. Let's see. I don't know. Normally, it takes Xbox like a couple of days to update their most played list. Yeah, because it's not even up here. Yeah, and I don't think that would be right. Yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds would be up here.
No. You know why it's not up there?
Why is that?
Because they're not buying games.
they do buy games, man.
Bro, they're waiting for Game Pass.
They buy games. They bought let's see here. They bought okay, I'm gonna keep scrolling. I'm looking for something out of Game Pass. Geez. Okay, never mind. All right, I can't even come up with a funny joke because these mofos don't have no games in like their top 50 that are not free to play and not on Game Pass. Golly, what are you guys doing to me? I'm trying to come up with a good joke, you know. Phantom. Oh, they buy Phantom Dust. I can't even find Phantom Dust up here. Jeez Louise, what's going on, everybody? Shout out to the chat. Let everybody know that we're live. I know that we're live doing like a live show at a time that we normally don't do a live show. Yeah, my schedule's kind of compounded. I let you guys know that are members. Yeah, I got to finish up a review for Atomic Heart DLC. I got to finish that up, or I can pretty much forget getting any other codes from any other, for any other games. So I got to do that. Cold Blood might grace us with some Monster Hunter Wilds. I don't know. He might grace us with some Monster Hunter Wilds gameplay on the channel. But there's just a lot to do today, and I can't run we can't run at the normal time and do a full podcast. And there's not a whole bunch of stuff. Basically, all there is Monster Hunter Wilds that's taken over the world. So we're going to talk a lot about that, and then this little silly back and forth that I'm having with Digital Foundry's, their caddies, their cronies. You know what I'm saying? They're entourage, whatever you want to call them. Very comical. If you're a member, you get the full gist of it. Definitely become a member. Also, too, just so you guys are aware, we'll shout you out as you come in to the chat. We want to maintain our focus in the as far as the show is concerned and not get derailed too much. So of course, members, as you blurt out things to us, we're going to definitely call it out. We'll try to go through chat as much as we can in entirety, but members will get first priority. I don't want to go too much off the rails because we have limited time, and then that just doesn't make for a very great show if we're sitting there trying to go through every single comment and people are trying to go back and forth and push buttons and all that stuff. So yeah, definitely check out our goals. We got, if we get 10 teal super chats, I will give away $25 a day to any random person in the what's it called, in the chat. You'll become eligible as long as you're subscribed here. And yeah, we also have our member goals. So just look to the bottom left hand corner that gives you all of our member goals, that if we reach those as well, there's awards for those as well. Here, let's talk about it. Yeah, because damn, I was actually going to go and check out. Look, I'm literally like here on the top 50 page. Okay, Baldur's Gate is here, but whatever. All right. Let's talk about it, Cold Blood. Goodness gracious, man. There it goes. Number 2, Monster Hunter Wilds. Right now, there's one. I said third. I was about to say 1,300. There are 1,307,000 people in this freaking game, dude. Just on Steam alone. What are your thoughts about this, man? Like, what's going on? I mean, I know. Well, we'll talk about that later. But what are your thoughts on just the success of this game? Just based off of Steam numbers.
The casuals infiltrated Monster Hunter now. Just like I predicted.
Why do you think they did that?
Well, kinda easy. World was a success, a big success.
Mm-hmm.
And I think World didn't come out on PC at launch.
Okay.
From what I remember. So this time around, everybody wants to play fucking Monster Hunter. That's why you see numbers like this.
Yeah. How much does this is this a $70 game on Steam too? I wonder how much this is.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
$70
Capcom is fucking swimming in money right now.
Yeah. They're killing it. All right. So.
But. Did you look at the user reviews?
Oh yeah, and it's dropping. It's like now it's only 35% now. Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
So what you think about that? Like, I mean, the player numbers keep going up. There's a lot of people playing it, but they are decimating this game. Let's see if we can find. Can we go to the store page? Or how do we see reviews? I want to see the reviews. Watch. What do you think? What do you think about the review scores? What do you think about this on PC?
Capcom had their priorities straight. That's what I think.
Oh, here goes.
They prioritize the biggest install base, which is PlayStation, for this game.
Take a look at these reviews.
That's what I'm.
Says very immersive game. You can cook a well done steak on your GPU while you play the hot blast of air from your PC fans truly make you feel like you're in the desert. This game is everything wrong with PC optimization in 2025. This game is absolutely amazing, but has the worst optimization I've ever seen. I understand the new games are becoming more demanding and people are expected to upgrade, but this is absurd. I'm aware this isn't the first instance of new games having poor performance on launch because the same thing happened with World. So, Cold Blood, my question to you is, and I think this is something that Steam probably needs to put out here, is like, you made this point a while ago with another game. I can't remember what it was. But if what you're saying is correct and the casuals are infiltrating this game, like if the optimization is bad on PC, it's going to be troublesome for people that actually have the rigs that can play this, which based off the numbers are only 17%. But if you got like the other 83% trying to play this game and jump in, like you got this one guy talking about, we know that people want you to upgrade. So that appears to me that this motherfucker might be trying to play this game on a 2070 or something like that, right? What are your thoughts on, or do you think that's the problem, that too many people with too many trash ass rigs are trying to play a game that really just isn't the best optimized? Do you think that's what's going on, or is it something more nefarious?
It's both. It's both shit optimization and people try to play a game that they probably can't even run at 30 FPS at this point.
Yeah.
With the dog shit they got.
Yeah. Because I agree with that. And I know you're trying to enjoy the game. Excuse me. I'm just peppering you with questions because my thing is, because you have the game, so I don't want to speak out of lack of experience, but my thing is too, I mean, honestly, from what Digital Foundry said, and we're going to get into that, I don't even know if we need to hold a candle to what they say anymore when it comes to consoles. And it sounds like to me that you've been there. You're like, fuck them, as far as, you know, they're just good to laugh at the bots when the bots try to praise something and then they come out with numbers that, you know, that contradict what the bots try to say. But taking them seriously, it sounds like to me that you're way past that. It sounds like the Digital Foundry is saying that the base models are not optimized as well, and that the only way to play in a good fashion is on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Do you jive with that, or you're just saying no? It's poorly, or do you, in your opinion, it's just poorly optimized on PC? It's decent enough even on the base models, particularly PlayStation 5, and the recommended place to play is the Pro. Is that how you feel?
I wouldn't say the recommended way, but that's the only way I want to play it.
Well, I mean, why would you say recommended? I mean, where else would you play it? I mean, do you?
Well, I cannot recommend to everybody a fucking $700 console.
Mm-hmm.
It all depends on what the fuck you're ready to pay, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same on PC. Are you ready to pay a shit ton of money just to have somewhat 60 FPS experience? If so, then go PC. If not, well, console is the only way to go for you to enjoy this game at somewhat stable 60.
Yeah. Okay. But
sure, no, look, sure. Capcom should absolutely optimize the PC version at some point. I'm not saying that they should because people are paying money for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't give a shit.
He said that's not my problem.
I don't give a shit. For me, it runs fine on a fucking Pro. So to me, go ahead and do your fucking content now. More content, more. Just more content, bro. Don't waste your fucking time. you got the money out of those bums. Now do it for the console players. What we actually want.
Yeah. Michael Morden says, yeah, Pro seems the best way to play Monster Hunter. Yeah, or you'll get the best results right now out of the Pro. Michael Morden also says, hey, MM2K Cold Blood, let's go. Yeah. I think those are all great points. I mean, I'm just looking at this. Here's what's funny to me, and you tell me where I'm wrong. And we had this discussion offline, which I had to think about. Like, I don't think anybody's right or wrong in this conversation. And I'm only focusing on owners of the PlayStation 5 Pro. Owners of the PlayStation 5 Pro, a lot of them are saying, you know, I'm happy with it. It's cool. Others are saying, you know what, I may be a little bit underwhelmed on the first 3 months. I think there's a variety of reasons to come with that. I'm more on the side of, my thoughts were, I knew that these consoles at some point in time were going to get restricted. Like the shit that we're seeing with Monster Hunter Wilds, even though it's poor optimization, I knew we were going to start seeing more and more of this on these base consoles. So for me, it wasn't so much that I bought the Pro because I knew that I was going to get superior gameplay through every single game. I bought the Pro out of necessity because I knew that if I wanted to play poorly optimized, which we're going to get a lot of because of these publishers, or play a lot of these CPU bottleneck games, that if I didn't want to just throw up in my mouth, I had to get a Pro. They kind of like forced my hand because look, we've heard it multiple times. These base consoles are not going to do as people were alluding to us. We got bamboozled. They came out a little bit too early. And if we want anything close to the level of performance that we were expecting, it's out of a console, you're going to have to get the Pro. That's why I got it. So that was my expectations. And because I had my expectations there, it's kind of exceeded my expectations, where I get it, where other people are like, look, I'm paying $700, $750 for this thing. I was expecting this thing to blow my mind with every single game, regardless of how optimized it was. I mean, and it all depends. I would just say this, at the heart of it, and I don't even blame Microsoft for this, even though the Series S was a bottleneck for the Series X. The Series X should be way more competent than what it is. But beyond that, I look at it like this, bro. Our biggest nemesis are these publishers. Like, it's fine for me because I have a Pro. And if I want to play Monster Hunter Wilds, it's going to be good enough for me. You know what I'm saying? And I got the Pro. I got the Pro to avoid the bullshit that people are experiencing on PC, and then some of the issues visually that people are experiencing on the base, because if you want performance. The reality of it is, y'all, that with how heavy these games are and how unprone these publishers are in optimizing them, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not defending the practice. I'm just saying that if you want the performance that you can be pleased with, you're going to have to get a Pro. And you may not always be pleased, because that is here's where PlayStation has to step in and say, nah, you can't do that. And it sounds like they're doing it now because they've paid for it, because they allowed bullshit ass patches to go through. They kind of got hurt a little bit. And it sounds like that from launch, PlayStation 5 Pro sales kind of like dipped a little bit, at least in the US. So they learned from the hard lesson, and hopefully with games like Monster Hunter Wilds, and if they keep doing better and better, they'll bounce back from that. My thing is that I think what gamers are going to have to do is, if you're a base gamer, particularly because Xbox bowed out at a competition, I think I feel sorry for you guys. I'm like Cold Blood. I shelled out the money. I can play fine. I feel sorry for you guys. I'll mention it, but here's the thing: when you guys were sitting here saying that the Pro was useless, I get if you're. Mm-hmm.
If a PC dude comes to you about the Pro, it says the PC is so much better.
Mm-hmm.
But why is Monster Hunter so bad? Why is that? Okay, what you gonna tell him is too bad, too sad.
Yeah.
Just fucking move on.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Like, at this point, as a console player, you should not give a fuck what a PC player says.
Mm-hmm. And I feel bad. No, I don't feel bad saying. I mean, it's a shame to say that, but it is what it is. I don't care.
Look, to those that were capping for PC gaming like crazy, I don't feel bad at all.
Not at all.
It's only those people that are just on PC because they are on PC for whatever reason, right?
Yeah.
And didn't even think about optimization or anything and got the game, were just excited for the game. Okay, I feel bad for them.
Mm-hmm.
They got fucked right now.
Yeah. No Vaseline.
Probably. if their PC is dog shit, then that's for damn sure.
Yeah. But it is what it is. And even if your PC isn't dog shit, like it may not run well. It may not run well. It's just, again, it's optimization. Like, and I see a lot of people that it says absolutely atrocious performances, as one reviewer for how the game looks, runs worse than the beta. For reference, I could run the beta at a comfortable 60-70 frames, usually higher than that. Now I'm running it at less than 50 on medium with noticeable dips.
Whoa, wait. Did you specify what kind of PC he has?
He says, but what I do know, maybe I'm just a little silly, Billy, and my 4070 toaster is just outdated at this point. I guess I'll go back to playing better looking games on Ultra. So he has a 4070.
When he has a 4070, that really doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It only matters with the CPU in combination.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Because the CPU is being taxed like crazy.
Yeah. Capcom games are, they have been. These open world Capcom games are. You know what I'm saying?
And never assume that the beta is the final performance of the game.
Exactly.
Like the beta is just a cut down version of the actual game.
Yeah.
And when you have the full functionality of it, like the 100-man lobbies and shit, bro, it's gonna be probably worse.
Yep.
If it already ran kind of bad.
Yep. I agree with Cold Blood. His assessment, it may sound cold. That's why his name is Cold Blood. But this is a business. This is why we talk about this here. I get there's 1 million concurrent people on PC, and that's strong. But Monster Hunter's consistent, most dedicated consumer is on console. So over time, I feel like the most dedicated consumer is going to be on console. I feel like you have all these people trying to play this game because you have a bunch of casuals that do have PCs now, but they're not strong enough. And it really doesn't even matter if they're strong enough. Shout out to Andrew Wilkins, member for 5 months. He says, you need an expansion HDMI cable for best performance. An expensive HDMI cable for best performance. Maybe.
What?
I don't know. Is that a joke? I don't know, Andrew. All you need is for the best performance, you got VRR enabled on your TV. Is VRR capable? Do you have a Pro? Okay. And then of course you need an HDMI cable 2.1.
The absolute best experience you're gonna have on Monster Hunter is with 120 hertz TV and VR. Yeah. If you got both of those, you can unlock the fucking frame rate on the fucking console.
Yeah.
It can run up to 80, 90 FPS at that point.
So, and I just got me an HDMI 2.1 cord, a 6-foot on Amazon for $9, and it's certified too. It's not one of those ones that someone braided in the back of their garage. It's a certified one too. It runs pretty good. So he says the more expensive cables have faster data transfer that allows better smoothness. I know from experience, Audio Quest cable gives better color and smoothness. I mean, okay, I see what you're saying. I think the way that it's phrased though, maybe a little bit off. I would have said rather.
No, wait. The PS5 has a limited bandwidth. With a cable, you ain't gonna just increase that bandwidth all of a sudden. So I don't know what he's talking about. I'm sorry, but the cable ain't as important in the end. If you get 120 hertz output, that's the fucking maximum you get.
Well, I've heard that in some cables, especially over 6 feet, that there's a little bit of loss there. And so those extra, I mean, I think they're fucking priced crazily. Those HDMI cords that he's talking about, Cold Blood, are the ones that are like $60, $100 and shit like that. They ensure that despite that some of that data isn't lost. Because some people have longer cords. I get that, but to Cold Blood's point, even if there is some data loss, I don't know how much of a difference it makes. To Cold Blood's point, I'm not. And again, Andrew, I'm not saying you're wrong. If you get those expensive cords, sure, you might, pull out your monocle, look at your TV, and be like, oh, okay. There's like 0.003% more color, coming to the TV. Sure. But I think to the average consumer, getting you a certified HDMI 2.1 cord, you'll be good enough. If you gotta have the very, very best, Andrew, and you got the coin, sure, go get one of those, get one of the more expensive HDMI cords, sure. But I don't, He says, true. I use a 4-foot carbon Audio Quest on my PlayStation 5. I get a little more, and I've heard that. I've heard that numerous times about, you start going over 6 foot and some of that shit starts getting lost through the travel. So it's true. Yeah, fine. But, I don't think it's paramount. The way you originally phrased it, I think it's true, but the way you phrased it in your original comment was like it was more of a bigger outcome than maybe some of the more average gamers would care for. If you're a tech enthusiast or if you're like a performance enthusiast, absolutely, it'll be worth it. I don't want to dismiss it because of some people may have the money to blow or spend or whatever, and they're like, oh, you can? Okay, fine. And they might want to go get that shit. Yeah, all power to you. But says I have a TCL 98-inch and it's a fucking beast. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, if you have a place to here, let's do a poll. Let's start a poll. How about, what do you think about this one, Cold Blood? Do you how happy are you with Monster Hunter Wilds on PS5 Pro.
I got a better question.
Oh, okay. Yep. What's that?
Are you a bum?
You a bum? Very. Happy. So don't don't have Pro. He said, "Are you a bum?" Yeah, you know, here's the thing, man. I don't, and we're kind of mixing everything in together. And again, as you guys are piling in, hit that like button, please, so we can help get this out here. We're doing this at a special time because of our schedules, and I got this Atomic Heart DLC review I got to do. I don't want to fuck up our opportunity to get other reviews. I just got this opportunity in the first, game that I got through this new opportunity. Like I'm already past the deadline, so I've been communicating back and forth with Munfish, and they're like, it's okay, we won't hurt your profile so far, you know what I mean? But there's only so much longer they're gonna keep saying that shit. So yeah, I want to finish that up today. Yeah. I don't want to make this a PlayStation 5 Pro gloat party, more so than people been trying to tell us that we were stupid for buying the PlayStation 5 Pro. These were people that didn't buy the PlayStation 5 Pro, that have no experience on what its capabilities are, trying to make reasons why we were dumb. Now, that's different from the conversation that I've had with other PlayStation 5 Pro owners who were and may still be a little bit more disappointed on the results that they got, but they're talking through, facts, and they have, evidence to prove specifics about expectations and things like that. Not people that are just trying to hate. My message to those of you that just want to hate, and you're now looking at, and in cold blood, you describe this as, which I can't argue against, describe this as, right now, based off all the attention it's getting, next to GTA 6, the biggest fucking thing this year. You want to play this in a way that's supposed to be played? Here's what it says to me. This thing is so poorly optimized that you need the best video card, the best CPU, which is going to put you in the tanker maybe a couple $1,000, depending upon if it's AMD or NVIDIA, or simply $700 USD if you're on a console. They made sure that even though this thing is poorly optimized, like Cold Blood alluded before, they made sure that they focused on their most reliable, their most dedicated, and actually the fucking consumer base that is keeping the lights on today, and that's the PlayStation 5 or the PlayStation fan base. They said, we'll put this shit on PC, but unless you got the 1% top performant rig, you're gonna have to wait a while, just like Dragon's Dogma. But over here, you got the Pro, you good to go. And you know what? I won't even say the base models are horrible. Digital Foundry is making that assessment, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. I don't even hold any weight to that anymore, to what they have to say about consoles anymore either. They're on this push, this agenda written push to push you to PC. And had you paid attention to the dog shit that they've been saying about PC, you know, in comparison to the Pro, it's a hard sell. It's a hard sell. Well, okay, well, the sell just got easier. When they were talking about the Pro, it's a hard sell. Well, the sell just got fucking easier. Because you got like 1.3 million people at least that are trying to play this fucking thing, and the majority of them hate the experience. Hence why the fucking rating is 3.5 or 35 out of 100. The rating for this game is 35 out of 100. Is it a tough sell now? It's a hard sell. It's a hard sell. Is it that hard of a sale now? Right? Like, what are we doing? So I just want to know. I just think that I know there were gamers that were like, look, I'm paying $700 for a console. Man, I want this thing to make my eyes bleed with every single game. Where the fact of the matter is, that's pursuing upon the developer. It's kind of like, and maybe I've already went through this shock with the Xbox One X. This reminds me of the Xbox One X. Not as nowhere near as bad, but kind of reminds me of the Xbox One X. It's all these bibawatts and gigahertz, and remember, and everybody was dancing around and shit and talking about the Xbox One X. And the developers weren't really putting an effort into it. They really didn't put an effort into the Xbox One X. The only one that really put a serious enough effort out of it outside of an Xbox developer was, what's their names? Rockstar. But that's one fucking game. You had games coming out on a PlayStation 4 Slim, a console that was $199. God of War, Last of Us 2, that fucking looked better than anything on the $500 console. Why? Because the developers weren't really putting much effort into it. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Base console owners, I'm not trying to scare you, I'm not trying to give you any FUD. I'm just giving you something that I knew from the get-go and why I said, oh, PlayStation 5 Pro is a must. This is not the end of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might be getting a smoother performance on the base console where you're like, this is okay. But if you're a base console owner and you're like, oh man, I really wanted 60 frames to look better, you are going to start finding more and more games fall short of your expectations. They may not be as drastic as this at first, but as time progresses, you're going to start seeing more and more games fall short of your expectations, because I just simply think that the base models came out too early. Xbox decided we're not making a mid-gen refresh. They claimed their mid-gen refresh was the X, whatever. They're not making a mid-gen refresh. They're just pushing you to PC. So that's why to me, a Pro was imperative, because I'm a console gamer. And yeah, I can be pissed about the base consoles coming out earlier. And I could have said, oh, well, fuck that. I'm going to teach them a lesson. I'm going to go to PC. I'm going to go to PC and spend thousands of dollars more and not get access to the games that I really, really want to play day one, which are the PlayStation 5 exclusive games. That's not the greatest proposal. So yeah, it's not the most ideal situations for all gamers, but you can complain about that, and you can go to the source, which is these publishers. We start going to the sources about this shit, I think we'll get better results. You can go to these publishers, but in the meantime, you still got to play the games, right? If you're a gamer, you still got to play the games. So I'm going to go where the games are best. Right now, it seems like it's PlayStation 5 Pro for the most part. May not be like that every case, but you know, as far as, I'm not going to say it's always going to have the best performance, no, but it's going to be the most efficient. Especially when it comes to these games, you're going to start seeing more and more of them poorly optimized. Look at Capcom. Like, these games set look at it. Let's look at this shit one more time. And we'll just take more questions. Look at this shit, bro. This game has 1.1 million people in it concurrently. 1.1 million people in it concurrently. Right? 1.1 million people in it concurrently. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
1.1 million people trying everything in their power to make this game work.
They on the driver's page and shit. They doing everything. Yeah. 1.1 million people in this motherfucker concurrently, bro. I'll say one more time, 1.1 million people. What do you think will be the trend after this? What signal does this send to other publishers? What does it send other publishers? Okay. Like, if this doesn't fall off a cliff, like if this 1.1 million, I would say within a week's time, doesn't drop to like 20,000, meaning that a lot of people refunded the game. If this doesn't drop off a cliff and this stays like in the top 20 games, you know what do you think this is going to say to publishers? Hey, we can put out unoptimized mess. They'll groan about it, they'll bitch about it, but they're still going to buy it and dedicate themselves to it. And you got to remember, atypically, unless it's it's deemed a scam all the way from Steam, after you put your 2 hours in this bitch, it's yours forever. It's yours. So there you have it. And I know this because I know I've been around watching this shit for the last 2.5 decades. I've been gaming for the last 4 decades. So again, for those of you that understand what that means, for the last 25 years, I've been reviewing and from a quasi reporter level, trying to investigate and see what's going on from games, with games and the move makers and shit like that. I've been doing that for the last 20 years, 20 to 25 years. I've been doing that as a hobby. And I got more in tune to what's going on as I've been on YouTube for the past 7 years. But for the last 20 years, been investigating and seeing what's going on. Me and my brother actually started a side company where we would, because we loved the Xbox OG so much, and because in our ignorance, wanted more games to use System Link. We actually went around to different GameStops and got gamers and employees and shit to sign this petition that we would send to Washington to say, make sure there's more System Link in these games, Microsoft, like it was up to them. We were ignorant, but you know, whatever. I've been doing this for a while. So I saw what was coming down the pike. As these publishers have control over these devs, they were going to get more and more lazy. And when I say more and more lazy, I don't mean the devs were getting more and more lazy. They were going to get more and more lazy in putting resources and effort into making sure these things were optimized. Okay, this quarter, man, we got to release this game, and this game. I don't give a fuck what state it's in, put it out there. And it hasn't always worked until now. And I hate to say it, PC gamers, you guys are, you know, if I'm a PC gamer and within the first hour of me playing a game, if I bought a graphics card for $1,800, a CPU for another $500, and my rig is a couple of $1,000s or whatever, and within that first hour, the game runs like shit, it's getting returned. This is not what I paid for. But you guys keep dealing with this. So as I get PC gamers or PC master, I don't even want to say PC gamers. PC master race is a specific wing of the PC gamer that are just oblivious to reality. As I get PC master race people in my comments saying, oh, you console people, you guys do this and you guys do that and you do this and you do that and you do this. Look in the fucking mirror. Games are going to continue to release less optimized, more fucked up, and particularly on PC. And they don't give a fuck. You're going to get beaten in the head with cash registers, where you're going to get piss poor upgrades in the 50 series versus the 40 series. And you're going to have to deal with it because of trends like this. And y'all want to get out of your car and come all the way across the street and talk to a group of people that have a totally different set of expectations than you do. It makes no fucking sense because we're playing the game just fine for a fraction of the cost. Like, don't even come over here. What are you over here for? You simply at mass bought and are playing a game and sitting there more on the internet bitching about it than playing the fucking game. Meanwhile, the co-host here, he's enjoying this. He's playing the game right now. And you motherfuckers, you're not even on a podcast. You're at home. You called off for work, probably quitting shit. Oh, I'm going to play Monster Hunter Wilds for the next 3 months. And you can't even boot the game up and shit. And y'all want to come out of your car and come over here and talk shit to us. It's not worth $750. Is this worth your $2,000-$3,000? Don't even come over here. You guys got a whole bunch of shit to deal with over there. Why are you supporting this type of stuff? Because all you're going to do is increase these trends. Oh, for these guys over here, we ain't got to do all that. For these guys over there, we ain't got to do all that. But PlayStation 5 Pro owners, I will give you credit. Everybody wasn't capping. When these poor ass enhancements were coming out, people were bitching. And I won't say they're all still perfect, but people are opening their mouths. They're not just being spoon fed the bullshit. So you guys got to wake up. Don't come over here. You're wasting your time over here. Like we're not even calling out to you. 41%, and y'all still are in here. This total number has to be in the millions for there to be 1.1 million concurrents. Do you know how many people just simply bought the game? Said, oh, I just want to buy it so when I come home from work, I'm going to play it. How many more people would have done that? Meanwhile, we over here, that's why Cold Blood is as quiet as a fucking church mouse. We over here are playing the motherfucker, no problem. Don't come over here, man. That's my message to y'all. All right, like I said earlier, we only have limited time because we got to end at 1 today. We wanted to still do something live with everybody for the week, but we wanted to talk about the biggest news of the week. So what we're going to do is, members will get, I'm going to try to get to as much of the chat as possible, but members are going to get priority. You guys can still talk amongst each other in the chat, but members will get priority. But if you got something that you want to hit us with, Johnny, on the spot, hit that super chat. Also, we got a poll that we're asking people. You know what I'm saying? Check it out. Let's see here. What's up, everybody? Says Juice. PlayStation 5 Sweden says, hey, gamers. Juice says, it's been a lot of poorly optimized games on PC lately. Absolutely. Absolutely. How does it run on the Series X? I don't know. Yes, if you have a Pro 4K 144 hertz TV with VRR. So when I look at this poll, we got 14 votes. We got over 20 people watching. Let us know. And we got a section for everybody. You're very happy, moderately happy, so you don't have a Pro. Let us know. 64% say that they're very happy. He says the more expensive cable. Okay, I read that. Let's see here. What else? Salute everybody. He says Phil Boss. Shout out to Phil. He says, let's see. I met a PC dude, said Andrew Wilkins, recently, who told me I was a fool for spending on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Come to find out, that goofy bought a Series S. Oh yeah, he's getting the best out of this game. I had when I went to go buy my PlayStation 5 Pro, there was a guy I was talking to at like a famous retail chain, and he was trying to convince me why Xbox was better. And I said, why is Xbox better? And my friend was with me, and he knows what I do on the side here. And so he was just laughing and shit, right? And I'm asking him, I'm like, well, this sounds like that you listen to an Xbox podcast, or you listen to one of these salt creators that just make up shit and they argue with themselves. Like they make up like they'll cap or screen an argument, false frame it, and then argue with themselves and shit, like, like they suffer from some type of illness that requires immediate treatment, right? I was like, what do you have? You'll never guess what he told me he has. 2070. This is a conversation that I had like a couple of days before launch. He got a 2070 and he's telling me why I'm done for getting a Pro. I said, dude, I have a 3070. You're not going to be able to. I, with my 3070, struggle to play games at 1440p. Especially because of the HD textures and shit like that. I barely get the performance that I want at 1440p with a 3070. Let alone, oh my God, don't let me try 4K. What are you talking about? And so then I broke down PSSR and all this, and he was like a deer in headlights. He didn't even hear about PSSR. Why? Because he apparently was listening to those type of content creators that just make up their own arguments, that false frame everything and make up their own arguments.
He was listening to C Money Forever.
Boom.
And apparently not his wife, but kind of his wife.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on over there either. I have no idea. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, you guys, there are a lot of people. This is what's wrong with quote unquote gamers today. There are a lot of people that claim to be gamers, but they can't think for themselves to save their lives. They have to be hand walked and put on the leash and directed everywhere they go. And I'm like, bro, if we're talking about AAA gaming experiences, don't even engage with me if you have a fucking 2070. I'm not trying to be mean. Don't even engage with me unless you have a fucking 2070. Like, if you're playing Fortnite on low settings at 200 frames per second, okay, fine. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about playing the baddest ass AAA games, 60 plus frames per second, 4K, with the latest technology in the game. That's what I'm trying to achieve. I don't give a fuck if you play Counter-Strike at 300 frames per second on low, ultra small settings. Okay, I don't care. We can't talk. We don't belong in the same cafeteria. Because I'm gamers that are on what I'm on are in first class. You're in coach. We can't even hold a conversation here. Those are the type of people, Andrew, that are telling us we were stupid for getting the Pro. I said, what do you have? He said a 2070.
Wait.
Now, go ahead.
Wait. What does Oh Noah's Alex has right now in his PC?
Oh, I don't watch his shit. I have no idea.
Because from what I remember, when he was talking about Halo Infinite, he was talking about his 2070.
Oh my fuck.
When I remember correctly, that was his concern, that the 2070 can run Halo Infinite.
That's why I don't watch their content. I can't help but see snippets on Twitter. That's why I don't watch their shit. We can't even hold a conversation. I'm in first class with the other gamers that want tip top shit. You're in coach, waiting for somebody to drop their peanuts on the floor so you can go on it like some alley cat and sniff it and eat it off the carpet. But we're not even engaging in the same conversation. Not at all. But those are the people, Andrew, like the guy that I met at the retail chain that told me, I was stupid for getting a Pro. Meanwhile, he's rocking a 2070. Like, let's buy. Bye. Let's see here. What else we got? He said, Juices at Cold Blood sold me on Monster Hunter. This will be my first one. Juice, you got a Pro, don't you? Y'all think Juice has a Pro? You have a Pro, Juice? Let's hit some more votes, y'all. I know there's more of you guys watching. Let us know.
We're gonna have some gaming nights probably.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I'm glad you said something, bro. Here, I'm going to invite you guys to the MM2K network Discord. Hop in the Discord. And you know what, Cold Blood? Here, another thing I was thinking too, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know how we be cutting up in the fucking we be cutting up in the DM? Because you be fucking with them in that DM, bro. I be tired.
On Twitter?
Bro, y'all think I be watching. I be lurking and watching. I can't type because you know what I'm saying? I'll be in the meeting or something like that, or I gotta hurry up and finish something. But yeah, you be fucking, bro. That shit. We need to transfer that to the Discord. I'm thinking. I don't know if you're comfortable doing that. I think our members, they get our humor. They're not pantsy wancy and all sensitive like that. They understand that it's no holds barred. As long as we label it NSFW and we put that channel in the Discord, I think people would appreciate it because the way that you fuck with them, bro. Oh shit. I'll throw a barb in there every now and again just to keep the instigation going. But that shit be so, I don't know. We can think about that. We can think about that. But that's the Discord, y'all. So definitely, yeah, come and join us in there. We're going to be doing game nights. I also created a watch party channel. So if you guys are into anime, I'm trying to think of some way to do this. Here's the thing. My weekends are free, but then they're not free. These are the pleasures of being married. Because I'm very organized as far as my time is concerned. I know what I'm doing next Thursday. Because I have to be like that because I got too much shit to do. I know today what I'm doing next Thursday, unless somebody comes out of nowhere and disrupts my schedule. That's just how I am. I have to be systematically scheduled like that because I got too much shit to do and only so much time to do it, right? My wife is totally different. My wife will wake up on a Saturday and figure everything out when she wakes up. And then when I get up, it's like I got this whole agenda in front of me. And I can argue with her, but she's always going to win out. Because she's fucking psycho. So anyway, she's always going to win out. So but she's going back to school. And I'm and I heard her talking, and she was talking like the classes were going to be on Saturdays. So I'm like, oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, oh yeah, baby. So yeah, if I can get her, if she can start taking these classes on Saturdays, she's not getting home till 5 p.m. And I was like, oh, these classes gonna be fucking remote? Like, damn. Because even if they're remote, she'll still just yell at, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. And they're like, no, they have to be on site on Saturdays. I'm like, oh. Yes. So if she signs up for these classes up until 5 p.m. Eastern, that's good enough. Because I get up like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, even on Saturdays. I can't sleep past 7 o'clock. 6, 7 o'clock on a fucking Saturday. Yeah, I'll be up. So yeah, we'll have gaming sessions. If not, when Cold Blood is free and he wants to do something, he'll do something in there. And also, for those of you that are anime fans, or if you want to watch some cool shit and we can do it together, there's a watch party channel in there. My recommendation is link your Discord ID with your YouTube ID, because there are going to be some perks and channels available to members. That's why you want to become a member. Not only if you become a member, and our membership is only $4 a month and you get access to everything. Other motherfuckers are charging $5 and above. $2 is the shout out membership. $4 and above, you get access to, I do a stream every Monday through Thursday, and Friday there's a weekend video that comes out that you guys get early access to. So you get content Monday through Friday and sometimes if I got some time and I throw something extra out there. So not only do you get that, but you're going to get extra stuff in the Discord. So yeah, consider becoming a member. And you can do so at $4. Okay. All right. So we took that intermission to bring all that stuff at, let me see here. He says, to be honest, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth cemented the pro for me. I'm happy with it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, because I wanted to get into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but then I saw how the performance mode worked, and it kind of reminded me a lot of Forspoken, which Forspoken, I mean, it was okay. But you always like, damn, I wish it could be a little bit more defined and a little bit more clear. And I didn't want to go through that again with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Another one that was not really like that for me, but kinda, 2 games, I will tell you. Spider-Man, Stellar Blade. Particularly with Spider-Man. Like, Spider-Man was cool, but I was like, damn, I wish it was just a little bit more clarity in the performance mode. Because I gotta have my 60 frames per second, or at least 50 and above. I gotta have my 50 and above frames per second. So Spider-Man, and then Stellar Blade was, kind of like that, where I was wishing it was a lot more clarity. I got videos on our channels. Spider-Man definitely looks good. Stellar Blade looks fucking awesome on the Pro. Juice says, yeah, 27. Yeah, bro, a 2070. This dude was trying to tell me that I'm like, dude, you don't even belong in this. What are you talking about? And like, my friend didn't understand. He's like, when he gave that number, that serial number, you kind of looked at him like he was crazy because he don't know nothing about this shit. I said, yeah. I said, dude, a 2070, and Cold Blood can tell you because he's the one. That's what cemented our friendship. Is when he came on there, was like, dude, you're having a nervous breakdown. Like, calm the fuck down. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I remember I had just bought this new PC. It had a 2070 in it when the 2070s were newer, And I bought it thinking that I could at least get 1080p 60 on high settings for my streams on Twitch. Because I used to, in the mornings, I used to do a Twitch stream for a couple of hours. Cold Blood would be one of the main people that would hang out there. And then I would switch over to YouTube. That's what I used to be able to do when my schedule was a lot more freer. Holy fuck. Anyway, one day I was playing Ghost Recon Breakpoint, right? And I couldn't get 60 frames. I couldn't even get 45 frames. So I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Oh man, this is horrible. And Cold Blood, he's like, man, don't calm your punk ass down. What the fuck are you? I'm like, oh man, no, I'm trying to get these 60. He's like, dude, it is what it is. You got a 2070. Like, fuck you think you're gonna be able to do? You know what I mean? That was, when was that, Cold Blood? That was like, what, 2019? When did Ghost Recon Breakpoint come out? 2019?
I have no idea, bro.
Ghost Recon Breakpoint release. Look that up. I think that was 2019. Yeah, October 4th, so around 2019, bro, that's 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I couldn't get 1080p 60 on Ghost Recon Breakpoint on a 2070. Bro, it's 2025. You can't talk to me about anything AAA. You got that shit on extra small settings. You got that shit on medium meager. Get the fuck out of here. We can't talk. On a fucking 20, man, I got rid of that motherfucker so fast. 2020 came around. Let me see. When did I think that was 2020. When did 3070 release? Yeah, 2020, a year later, that 3070 rolled out. I bought that motherfucker so fast, got rid and sold that fucking 2070. Man. That dog shit out my fucking face. And then look, even with the 3070, after like a year or two, I would say by 2022, at least 2022, he was partially in 2021. Because when did Far Cry 6 come out? Far Cry 6 release. Bro, by like the end of 2021, the fucking 3070 was already obsolete for 4K gaming. Because Far Cry 6 and a bunch of other games that I was playing at 4K, them motherfuckers drop HD packs and all that other shit. I couldn't play at 4K anymore because of the VRAM then wasn't enough. And you talking to me in 2024, 2025, a fucking 27, man, if you don't fly kind into a fucking thunderstorm, holding a pack of spoons, fuck out my face. Juice says, yes, I have a pro. PlayStation Sweden joined Discord. Awesome. Hold on, let me see if I see you in here, brother. Oh, I don't, oh, no. I mean, no, I don't see you yet. No. You've already, no, PlayStation Sweden, you've been in here. Yeah, because what I'm going to start doing is I'm trying to set up a stage. So in case it's easier for you guys to listen through Discord, like in case of, you know, if your internet is shoddy and you can't listen through YouTube, you can listen through Discord. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of shit through there. Don't worry. Phil Bosch says, it was Spider-Man 2 for me. It looked like a different game when I played it on the Pro. Yeah. Phil, Answer this for me, Phil. And Phil, you're a regular here, man. Jump in that fucking Discord, bro. Phil, let me know. You got Stellar Blade? If y'all don't, let me say this, man. I'm gonna say this. And I'm a fraud. Cause I be piecemealing these games like these motherfuckers at Munfish. They're probably looking at me like, dude, like we gave you that code a while ago. What the fuck is going on here, man? It's just a 10-hour DLC. I'm a fraud over the last several months because of my schedule shift when it comes to games. I'm piecemealing getting gaming in like a motherfucker, right? But I'm trying. I'm really trying. So very seldom do I even have a leg to stand on to go to, particularly PlayStation 5 gamers, Xbox gamers, y'all, but to go to a PlayStation 5 gamer and say, man, I don't know about your credentials, but I feel like I have the righteous indignation to do it here. If you consider yourself a PlayStation 5 gamer and you don't have Stellar Blade by now, I'm gonna question your credentials. Every PlayStation 5 gamer that I know, they should be able to say, yeah, I either have Stellar Blade or I game share and I have access to it. Like, you gotta have Stellar Blade as far as I'm concerned. Cold Blood would tell you Returnal, which I have Returnal too. I just haven't jumped into it yet. But Phil Bosch, do you have Stellar Blade? If you do, and you haven't tried it on the Pro yet, please do. I will tell you guys this. I tried the Pro. Even though it's not Pro Enhanced, I tried Forspoken on the Pro. And just off of the brute power jump from the base PlayStation 5, I feel like a lot of the issues that I was having as far as blurriness in the performance mode, it's good enough to where that's not even a problem. So I've been like fucking around here and there and jumping into Forspoken a little bit. Start playing that again. You know what I mean? I definitely got to finish that game. All right. So yeah, that's where we're at with Monster Hunter Wilds. The performance of it, it sounds like that you guys, if you got the Pro, you're served good. If you got a Series X or a PlayStation 5 and you just play the quality mode, I mean, Digital Foundry said some shit about the quality mode. Who gives a fuck about what they say? Because we're going to segue into that. But you may or may not have the best experience. It sounds like that if you're a console gamer, the definitive experience is the Pro. Just some things to consider. All right. With that said, let's move on. Jax82 says at MM2K, I don't have the PlayStation 5 Pro, thought about getting it. Is there a big jump in performance or more of the same? I'll let Cold Blood answer this too. Here's my thoughts on it. Number one, for the games I play, now Cold Blood may have a different experience because he has different tastes in different games. For the games that I play, or the games I'm looking forward to playing. Oh, and another thing too is I heard that RoboCop Rogue or whatever is here. Matter of fact, let me do this. Shout out to Wario64. I heard that the RoboCop Rogue got a nice enhancement on the Pro. I don't know. Did you hear the same thing about that? Cold Blood, that RoboCop Rogue or whatever the fuck that's called, got a nice Pro enhancement.
No.
Okay, that's what I had heard. You can get it right now for $9. I just picked it up right now for $9. Not right now, but I picked it up earlier for $9. Shout out to Wario. Make sure you're following Wario. Spec Ops The Line is available. Yeah. Where is here? I'm looking for it right now. I do want to show you guys this. You can get Monster Hunter Wilds on Steam for $54.96 with game billet, $59.99 on Xbox Digital through Newegg. Yeah, it ain't on sale. Guess where it ain't on sale at? PlayStation. It ain't on sale at PlayStation. Oh, where the fuck is? Here it goes. Here it goes. Let's put this up here. Shout out to Wario, man. I love this account. Okay, let's go to web full. You can get RoboCop Rogue City for $8.99 on, and I went and bought it. It was like 9 and some change after tax for me. And there's supposed to be a crazy ass fucking sale. I wonder if they're gonna put look, there's a shit ton of games on sale too. I wonder if they're gonna put Cold Blood. You think they're gonna put not, I was about to say Death Stranding. What's the name of that fucking game? The motorcycle game that's getting remastered. Oh shit. What's the name of that game, man? And everybody was talking to, you know, everybody was having discussions about it getting remastered. I forgot. Anyway, wonder if they'll put that on sale. I doubt it. Because they boosted the price. And something was telling me to buy it, but then I saw it in my catalog and I was like, oh, I must already bought it. But I bought it for PC. I didn't buy it for the PlayStation 5. I got it gifted from the PlayStation 5 as being part of PlayStation 5 Pro. But yeah, RoboCop is on here. I'm gonna tell you a game that if you haven't already played it, you guys are definitely gonna wanna get. Do yourself a huge fucking favor and get Atomic Heart. Get Atomic Heart. And get that new DLC. I'll say this. Shout out to Munfish. I think they're like a small studio, and you know, they pretty much created a game that is, I won't say it's fully AAA, but I think it's really polished. It's really polished, and it really, in a lot of ways, it's like, I want to say it's like in the 80 to 90 percentile. It captures the feel of BioShock a lot. You know what I mean? In comparison, I'm looking at games like Avowed, which I know people are enjoying Avowed, but Avowed clearly is not a AAA game. It's a AA game with a AAA aesthetic. And I can see where if people are starving for games, they're playing Avowed. They're like, oh, this is good. You know, this is cool. But it's not a 7. And you know, a lot of people playing it via Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? But I think the reason why that it's not really doing numbers on Steam is because of the $70 price tag. Atomic Heart is a game that I think a lot of people are not paying attention to. And I understand it came out in a year where there were more prestigiously known games out there. I would take advantage of this sale. I would try Atomic Heart, and if you like it, get that DLC. Because I'm actually reviewing it now, and I'm really enjoying the DLC. I'm gonna put a couple of videos out that I have as soon as we clear some things up with some copyright shit that Munfish promised that they would take care of. So as soon as I hear back from them, we'll take care of that. But anyway, yeah. But that's the sale, and I heard that RoboCop, Rogue City, which has got a lot of acclaim and a lot of people said that they liked it. I heard that had a pretty good pro enhancement on there. So let me see here. Okay. Yeah. So definitely check out that game. Oh, whoops. Okay, I tell you what, can you guys give me a few moments? I'll be right back. Cold Blood, you're playing the game, so I won't disrupt you. I'll be back. I'm gonna put a video on real quick, and we'll be right back because I forgot. I forgot these people were coming. This should only take like 3 minutes. I'll be right back because they're at my door now. Fuck. Okay. So my friends, Shuhei Yoshida, formerly of PlayStation's indie team, has been making a lot of headways in regards to his his internet circuit, talking to different people about his time, his stint at PlayStation. There's been a lot of back and forth. Did Jim Ryan stab Shuhei Yoshida in the back? Was Shuhei Yoshida maybe incompetent in some type of way while he lost his job? A lot of stuff we're going to parse right here, try to make sense of it all. I'm going to use my Fortune 500 experience because you got a lot of people talking about this on the internet that don't know what they're talking about, and they're trying to parse this and they're chopping this all up. But we're going to hit this with a scalpel so you can understand what's going on. What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K of Hard Knock Digital Culture, Cloud Dosage, MM2K Gaming, back again with another episode of Quick Dose. This is where we talk about the latest and greatest in the video game news. And man, oh man, oh man, do we have a special one for you today. But do us a huge favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when we're dropping these doses, and check that bell, make sure it's selected to all. So there is no confusion on what information of ours or what content of ours you're going to get access to. All right, let's talk about it. So Shuhei Yoshida is making the rounds. He's talking to a lot of people. There's been a lot of controversy happening because of these talks. And you got fanboys flipping and flopping everywhere. You got fanboys that want to see PlayStation go the way of the dodo bird, sitting there saying, see, PlayStation is in trouble. Ha ha ha, Jim Ryan. You got other people that are saying, oh, no, Jim Ryan's a saint and he did everything great. And no. Maybe Shuhei was a little bit incompetent, but as always, truth is always somewhere in the middle. Now, let's be honest and let's be transparent, because there are things that have been happening in number as it relates to PlayStation leadership. Not too long ago, we kind of had this happen, and it even had your boy confused, right? All right, so what is this? Okay, in May of last year, there was a new leadership structure formed at Sony Interactive. What was that new leadership structure? Well, not Shuhei Yoshida, Nishino, and Hideki Nishino and Herman Holst were awarded CEO positions within SIE. And Hiroki Totoki, who was the CFO and COO, was acting as the interim CEO of SIE as Jim Ryan had stepped down and retired. Hiroki Totoki, a position was created for him to be the chairman of SIE, right? In addition to his roles doing everything else, right? This confused me, and it confused a lot of people. And honestly, it confused me because the headline people got it wrong. But I will, admittedly, PlayStation. All right, we're back. Sorry about that, y'all. I was like, why didn't these people were dropping something off? And I told them earlier to just like text me, and I would text them back and let them know where to drop this thing off. And they rang my doorbell, and I'm like, why didn't you guys text me? They're like, because you didn't pick up your phone, and here my phone died. So sorry about that. But okay. All right, we're back. So anyway, let's see here. Days Gone. Thank you, Michael. Yeah. So we'll see if I wonder if Days Gone ain't going on sale no time soon. I tried looking for PlayStation codes and shit like that everywhere. Anyway, well, before we start dumping on Digital Foundry and all of their stooges, Cold Blood, what are your thoughts on Monster Hunter Wild so far? How many hours you got into it, and what are your thoughts?
Bro, I cannot give you any opinion right now.
Oh, okay.
I literally just started.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and again, I'm just talking from a video game perspective because we talk all things video games, whether I play the games or not. We just try to tell you talk to you about consumer habits, get you guys' thoughts on games and stuff like that. I've tried Monster Hunter games all the way back from the OG PlayStation days. I've never been a Monster Hunter gamer. That's just been me particularly. But they don't need me to survive at all. You know what I'm saying? So they seem to be killing it out here. I'm just curious on what people think based upon their experience, but we'll get more and more of that as time goes on.
But boss,
Mm-hmm.
you know who needed you to survive?
Who?
BioWare.
You said they needed me to survive? BioWare?
Yep. Because you rented that game. You didn't buy it.
Oh, you're talking about Velgard. I'm not even thinking about the current BioWare. Like, those are the fake BioWares, fake news. they're fake news. Yeah, no motherfuckers. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. You know what? And that's funny because I did want to talk about that. I'll bring that up at the end. Because that's the whole thing with that game coming to PlayStation Plus. I mean, yes, it kind of solidifies that game did not do well. And yes, I will not lie, I finessed the fuck out of that game. I signed up for EA Plus to play that, to get access to it on PC day and date. And I played it on GeForce Now to get a feel of what the game was. And once the game started off rough and I'm like, oh, this game is bad. Then it started to get like fun. And I'm like, oh, this game is the shit. Then it started to get repetitive. I'm like, okay, this is mediocre. I started like getting Avowed vibes as far as the level of depth in the game. I still think Avowed is worse. But I was like, this is mediocre. So I dropped the game and all I lost to it was like $20 to try the game. Okay. Some people may say that's still too much, Moss, especially now that the game is in PlayStation Plus. So there's no, and then the efforts, the people that were working on it, they were broken up and regulated to other things. The god awful project lead or whoever that person was that said, yeah, Tosh would be a great character in a video game. That motherfucker's gone. Yeah, so it's clear that the game did not do, and then I think EA came out and said so. The game clearly didn't do what they needed it to do. The disappointing part of it is EA thought it didn't do well because it wasn't live service. Like, fuck out of here. Yes. So there is no denying that Jesus Christ, Dragon Age Velgard did not meet expectations. We were told it didn't. But here's the thing. It's still a game that I don't want to use the word prestige because there's nothing prestigious about the game, but it has it's a well-recognized game, right? It's a well-recognized game. So the fact that PlayStation is getting a well-recognized game 4 months after launch. I don't understand how people have such a negative connotation on that instead of saying, PlayStation, kudos, you're getting a well-recognized game, AAA, I guess, 4 months after launch. Kudos to you for nabbing that game, right? But when it comes to Xbox, and they'll get games day and date in the subscription service that completely cannibalizes its potential in sales. You guys celebrate it and say, oh, yeah, all this is going to do is add to more sales for the game. And it fucking flounders. And in addition to that, what ends up happening is you run more often than not. There might only be like one exception and shit, but more often, or two, more often than not, when a game, when a highly recognized AAA game launches day and date in the Game Pass, somebody loses. Either everybody loses, or the publisher loses, or the developer loses, or Microsoft loses. Somebody loses. Prime example, Outriders. I believe to this day, People Can Fly still have not received royalties on that game. Meaning, so many sales had to be covered that the publisher gets compensated first, and then after so many sales are covered, after the publisher got compensated, then the developers gets compensated. You know what could have fucked that up is the fact that it went day and date into Game Pass, therefore it got no sales there on that platform. That's what likely fucked that up. So what Microsoft basically did is, because they wanted to get the Game Pass in the game in Game Pass, and I have it on very good authority, even though people laughed at me, and I can't remember if it was Tim that confirmed this or somebody else I was talking to not too long ago confirmed this. Microsoft saw what was happening with Stadia, them getting the game and then them doing this world tour and talking like the game was going to perform great on there. They heard that and they said, oh no, we got to cut them off at the pass, because they didn't want another situation like Cyberpunk, where another AAA game hit Stadia, gave it a little bit of life. They wanted to keep their foot on Stadia's neck, just like how PlayStation kept their foot on their neck. So they went and got Outriders in Game Pass day and date to curtail that. It wasn't even necessary, because the game performed like dog shit on Stadia. It was all a bunch of lies that Square Enix and Google was trying to pass on to people about Outriders, because it was horrible on the platform. But anyway, because of that need, Xbox or Microsoft actually used its greedy conglomerate money to set up a scenario that screwed over the fucking developers. Why? Because again, it's day and date in Game Pass. Nobody's buying it on Xbox. And at least at that time, there were still some people buying some shit. That was still during the area of the pandemic. So some people were buying some shit. So they got no sales on Xbox. Xbox fucked them over on their royalties. Now, granted, the game was in a horrible state at launch. Buggy, was the worst on Stadia. But, you know, they could have got their original sales and, you know, could have got some royalties back. And Xbox hurt that effort. So what I don't understand is how PlayStation throwing some money at a game that clearly has sunset. I mean, they done broke up the people that were working on it. The studio head is gone all time. But there were people probably interested in playing the game, but they're like, I'm not paying $60, $70 to play that game, but I'll try it out. So y'all want to focus on the negative, which I don't deny is there, but y'all want to focus on the negative when PlayStation does it in a way that helps everybody. We're letting you do your thing so the publishers and the developers can get what they could potentially earn. And after you've reached that potential, we're going to throw you some more cash. I want to focus on the negative when PlayStation does it the right way. But when Xbox does it in a way that's more likely harmful than helpful to AAA games, y'all want to say, oh, this is great. This is fantastic. It's the best. Fuck you, developer. You don't need your royalties. That's what I think is ironic about this discussion around Dragon Age Veilguard. I'm not denying at all that the game, you can't deny it. The EA came out and said that it bombed. You can't deny it. But when it comes to these subscription services, unless you're a publisher that's putting your own games out there, it makes sense if you're a publisher that's putting only your own games out there. Because if you look at, like, let's look at Ubisoft for an example. Ubisoft drops about 3 games a year, right? So 3 times 70 is $210 a year. So if you're a big time Ubisoft consumer, instead of dropping that $70 a pop, you can pretty much rent access to not only those games, but the games that came out prior for around $17.99 a month. Ubisoft still comes out making more money for the fiscal year, because when you accumulate what you've paid into subscription in the entire year, it's more than you buying the games individually if you were to buy all 3 games. But come on, we know that everybody's not buying every single Ubisoft game that comes out that year. You might buy 1 or 2 on average or whatever. So they come out on top. It makes sense for a publisher to do it. Not the way Microsoft is doing it. Microsoft is not only putting the games that they published in day and date, but they are buying other games to put out day and date consistently. That's not sustainable unless you do what they're doing now, which is subsidize it in hopes that it strikes pay dirt one day, which it's not. We'll get into that in a second. It strikes pay dirt by, you subsidize it by selling games on PlayStation. How long can you get away doing that? Because any service or product that you have out there have to be self-sufficient. At some point in time, you got to pull the plug on that. And then what ends up happening is people are saying, yeah, subsidize my Game Pass. At some point in time, your Game Pass isn't getting subsidized like you're the priority. The PlayStation gamer becomes the priority. For those of you that are arguing, yeah, subsidize my Game Pass, I'm going to tell you, if we find out that Fable got delayed so it could launch day and date on PlayStation 5, you have your answer. You can deny it all you want. It's already evident now, but there's no denying it then. You are no longer the priority. You are no longer the priority. Xbox is treating you, or Microsoft is officially treating you like consumers of its own hardware elsewhere. Like, they may make Surface tablets and they may sell them or whatever, but they prioritize selling their software on other hardware. They do it across Microsoft. The only place where they try to promote activities of their software on their own proprietary hardware was Xbox. And now they feel like it's a fool's errand. We're not prioritizing Xbox. So it's just like the Surface tablets. They talk all this shit about the Surface tablets and this and that, and they're top-notch this. And if you want the top-notch PC experience, and sure, and Surface tablets have their own niche or dedicated consumer base, but Microsoft doesn't rely on the Surface tablet consumer to make its money. They just happen to have a brand of computers as well. They don't rely on them. And they really don't rely on them because remember there was the Windows Store and they had the Surface tablets that you could get there and your Xboxes. And remember they shut those motherfuckers down. The little Surface tablets booths that you would get in the malls, those motherfuckers is gone now.
I got a question.
Uh-huh.
You said the Xbox player is not the priority anymore, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I would argue they were no longer the priority since 2016. You remember why?
Oh yeah, because you're saying because of quantum break.
Absolutely. That was the moment that they became second fiddle to the shit they actually want to sell to.
I don't
wasn't
think
that also wait.
Go ahead.
Wasn't it also the time they made that Windows Store on PC?
No, they've had. I think they've had the PC Windows Store. I could be wrong. I think they've had the PC Windows Store for a while. But I could be wrong. When did PC Windows Store launch? I could be wrong. No, it launched in 2012. They've had it alongside Windows 8. They had it for a while, but they probably like really were pushing it around that time. Yeah. Now my memory's coming back to me. So you are like, yeah, they it was around for a while, but it was kind of like just lurking, and then they really started pushing it with Quantum Break. I remember now that you bring it up. Yeah. Oh. I will say that you're not wrong. I don't think you're wrong. In my opinion, I don't think you're wrong. I think that's when, and the reason why I don't think you're wrong is because Satya, who's the motherfucker in charge, that's when he started saying, you know what? Fuck this. We are, we're gonna convert Xbox to how we handle hardware, period. That's when he got it in his head. There was still an opportunity though for his mind to be changed, because he kept giving Phil opportunities to change it, and Phil just wasn't successful. Because Phil isn't any good at that part of it. So there wasn't, yeah, you're right. Like the whole ideal and notion that I don't give a fuck about these console people. Like, why are we even doing consoles? Satya came up with that idea. They rolled it out 2016, like you said. But he gave Phil a chance. Convince me, Phil. Show me. Show me you know what the fuck you're doing. And he just kept failing after failing like, bruh. Failure. So, yeah. When they did that at the very least, that destroyed the momentum for Xbox. And I didn't even realize that. I didn't even understand that dynamic until 2021. I didn't realize that because it took me to think about it. Like, I'm just thinking, oh, there's going to be more sales on, there's going to be more sales. So all that's going to do is create more. No, I didn't realize till 2021 that if you go day and date to PC, you tend to fuck with 5 to 15% of your most hardcore fan base. And that 5 to 15% they buy so much, like they buy that 5 to 15%, as Matt Piscatella just talked about this on Kind of Funny. They're the consumers that are likely to buy multiple games a month. Anywhere between 1+ games a month. Where 48% of the average gamer, they'll buy 0 to 2 games a year. What do I mean by 0? They just play free-to-play games. Now, they buy a whole lot of microtransactions. You making a shit ton of money off of them, but they're probably just sitting there playing Fortnite, Roblox, and all the other Apex Legends. But that 5 to 15%, they buy so many games that if you're like, hey, I'm putting these games that used to be exclusive to this box on PC, they got the disposable income. They're like, okay, well, I might as well go where it's better. I'll go to PC. Because not only can I play your games there, but then I got access to cheaper games. So it balances itself out. I got access to cheaper games via Steam. And these games will play better. And during the Xbox One era, you couldn't beat that with a stick. You couldn't tell me that a game on a higher end PC wasn't walloping an Xbox One game, even an Xbox One X game, because developers weren't really fleshing out the Xbox One X all like that. And I know that for a fact because even Xbox like me were like, after we had the Xbox One X for a while, we said, man, we got sold a bag of goods. We got beat over the head with a fucking cash register. And it was me, Neethles, and Noah. We all went out and bought high-powered, or what we thought was high-powered PCs, and said we'll just play our Xbox games there. Because the Xbox One X was so fucking underwhelming. So you have a combination of. Go ahead.
Just to buy a bum-ass PC.
And then we don't. And then we're refugees, right? And like the typical refugees, when you land somewhere new, you don't know where you're going. You don't know where you're supposed to be. So we're sitting there buying, 2070 cards and shit like that, and trying to play Anthem at 60 frames per second. Yeah, right. Anthem was like, fuck out of here. How about 25 frames? We'll give you 25 frames per second. We don't know about the CPU. We ain't got the right amount of RAM and shit. We try to play this shit with 6 gigs of RAM. And I mean, come on, man. And Anthem was like, yeah, right. But if people do it right, that are more knowledgeable than what we are. But see, that just shows you, even us that weren't knowledgeable, even we were going to try it because we had the disposable income. So imagine those that are knowledgeable and they do know what to get and they get the right shit. They're never coming back. It was a triple whammy. I'll do another third. We'll end at 1:30, and I got to end at 1:30. We'll end at 1:30. So another 30 minutes. Unless that throws you in the fickle cold blood. Did I put you in a bad spot, or do we need to end at 1? Oh, he's playing the game. He ain't paying me no fucking attention. Because I want to do like the last maybe 15-20 minutes. But then I do want to touch on Digital Foundry because, and hopefully some of their lackeys are lurking here. Stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. I'm about to touch on this shit.
Sorry, what was the question?
Oh no. I was saying I can go to 1:30. I can do another 30 minutes. I didn't know if that was a problem for you.
No, absolutely not.
Okay. All right, yeah, I have to end at 1:30, but we'll go to 1:30 because then what I want to do is allow the members an opportunity to ask us questions and shit like that. Yeah, it was a triple whammy for Xbox. And even though I didn't understand it, it was because I wasn't looking at the data. I didn't have the data at my disposal. They did. This proves to you. You know who Phil Spencer reminds me of? Phil Spencer reminds me of D-Batch. You literally had D-Batch as the CEO of Xbox. Because D-Batch, a lot, you know how he catches L after L after L on the internet, and shout out to D-Batch, right? Like he's woke up and he's realized, you know, capping for Xbox ain't the way, right? But remember all the L's that D used to catch? And he's a smart tech guy. Like he knows his shit, but what D does is he gets into a trance. He knows technically how something works, but emotionally, he wants a certain outcome so bad, he will forsake his knowledge that he knows the reality. He'll forsake reality to go into this fantasy land. And that's when you start getting the tweets. Yeah, the Xbox One, the Series X will do this, or the Xbox One X will do that. And yeah. You'll get that from D, despite the fact that he knows better. Why? Because his emotions carry the shit, and he thinks he can tweet it and talk it into fruition. That's why he caught so many L's about AMD as well too, and then he's back. He's learned from that. So you literally had D-Batch as the CEO of Xbox, even though Phil would have had all this data in front of him. He clearly ignored it. All this precedent and trends and all the lineage from all the other people that were running Xbox that clearly were probably telling him, Phil, don't do that. That's stupid. That's stupid, man. I'm pretty sure somebody got into his ear. I know Mike Ybarra was getting into his ear. Mike Ybarra, Mike Ybarra will tell you today, I don't have a problem with Phil. Mike Ybarra's doing fine. He's the head of that gambling thing and shit like that. He's doing good. He's the CEO of that or whatever. He's doing good. Mike Ybarra's fine. And he's like, you know, at the end of the day, I ain't got no ill will towards Phil. He'll tell you that. But I'm here to let you know that when he was working with the motherfucker, there was tension. There was so much tension that Mike Ybarra was taking shots at Phil. I made a video on it at the time, and I was talking to someone that mutually knows Mike Ybarra, and I said, look, man, for what it's worth, I know I talk a lot of shit, but, you know, I have experience in this. Letting Mike know he might want to chill. And I swear on everything that I love that this is my exact words. Well, not my exact words, but this was what I said to him. I said, I was in a similar situation where I was getting into it with somebody and they ended up becoming my superior. I had to report to them, and it was a hellacious 4 or 5 years for me. We were going back and forth, or it just wasn't a bad look. I said one day, and I say this in the video, I say one day Mike is going to be sitting at Activision Blizzard. He could possibly be sitting there drinking his latte, having a coffee, working on Diablo, him and Rod Rutherford, whatever the fuck his name is, and they're sitting there laughing and enjoying and probably making. Remember when we had to work for that sorry miserable motherfucker Phil? Having a good old time, and they get a knock at the door. What's that? Bobby Kotick. Hey, look, Bobby Kotick just called a special meeting. We all got to come to, you know, for a special town hall. We all got to come immediately. And then he discovers that Activision Blizzard is bought by Microsoft. I said, I told this mutual person that knows Mike, I said, you never know if that could happen because we're hearing Microsoft is in the business. I said, it may sound crazy, so-and-so, but you never know. I swear to goodness, I said this to them years ago when I made that video. And I say it in the video too. I say it in the video as well. And lo and behold, guess what the fuck happened? So y'all think I just be coming up with conspiracy theories? I know how business works. I know the avenues that these companies go through, and I know the potential outcomes that are out there. I didn't predict. I said it's a huge possibility. I said, so let Mike know he better chill, because if he doesn't chill and Phil becomes his boss again, unless he's like, well, I don't give a fuck, I'm getting the fuck out of here anyway. You know, he's going to be between a rock and a hard place. So I know people were in Phil Spencer's ear like, dude, this doesn't make any sense. But Phil Spencer was so emotionally tied to what he wanted to happen. He ignored all the evidence around him. And the evidence was staunch threefold. Number one, it doesn't matter who the fuck you are. If you're in the AAA gaming business as a marketplace, if you put your games day and date on a more capable piece of hardware, your biggest purchasers are going to go to that other hardware. Why? Because it's AAA. At the center of AAA is newest tech, biggest performance, greatest technology or visuals. That's why there's new consoles that are out every year. If it wasn't about that shit, if that shit was just stupid, if graphics and stuff didn't matter, there wouldn't be new consoles. What would be the point of making new consoles? Because there wouldn't be there wouldn't be a need for new technology to be applied. Why would you have to do that? We'd still be running off of the 360 technology, right? Or the PlayStation 1 technology. Why go any further? Because when you're in a AAA genre-defining business, which consoles are, it's all about the latest and greatest tech. Now, there are some games that have lesser tech in them that people will still buy, but the most defining part are the visuals, the performance, all the latest tech. And it's all about you creating games that show why your piece of hardware is great with the latest technology. But if your games are showing that other hardware has better technology than yours, then I'm gonna go there. And who's going there getting that 5 to 15% that spends the most per capita, per user? They're the motherfuckers that Matt Piscatella said buys 1 to multiple games a month. I'm going to go to PC. I'll buy your games there, and I'll buy my third parties off of Steam. How does that hurt Microsoft? Because now that I'm not on your hardware, instead of getting 100% of the revenue from my games, I'm getting only 70%. And then the third-party games that you used to buy on my system, I'm getting none of that. The microtransactions that you used to get from the games as a service, I'm getting none of that. So that 5 to 15% by them shifting over to PC, that can slow your rate of growth up to 30%. And we've seen data out there that shows that between PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, before they bought ABK, they had the slowest growth of revenue out of the three. And the only reason why the revenue growth wasn't slow the first year they bought ABK was because they just merged all the money, the revenue together. Now that you're comparing quarter with ABK to quarter with ABK, you're seeing the same bad revenue growth again. They only had that 1 year of, artificial looking revenue growth because they just bought another company. It wasn't based off of increased sales off of legacy content. You bought somebody else and you got to slurp in their revenue, but there's data to prove that after you bought them, they started underperforming too in some areas. So the problem is that number one, AAA genre defining markets. Your software is supposed to show how well your hardware is and why it's superior in some ways. If you take all that away when you put said software on more capable hardware, and it looks better there. That's number one. Number two, Xbox gamers that made the 360 generation as big as it was a combination of two types of gamers. Number one, it was PlayStation gamers that made an exodus after the PlayStation 2 during the PlayStation 3 era. Number two, it was PC gamers who said, hey, for a cheaper price in the plug and play factor, I can get a good enough experience on the console because this Xbox thing, man, it's powerful. May not be as powerful as the top PC out there, but it looks mighty fucking good enough. I'll just buy my games there. When the Xbox One generation came, you had the beginning throes of the shit that was happening, TV. And even though PlayStation hadn't dropped any of its core exclusives in those first 2 or 3 years, that would define the console. Xbox didn't have anything to counter with. Sunset Overdrive and Dead Island and the exclusive Rise, those didn't percolate anybody. So that's why it became the multiplats, and the multiplats performed better on the PlayStation 4, even though it was slight. The PlayStation 4 was cheaper. The multiplats performed better there. So the PlayStation people went back to PlayStation. Then, to make matters worse, it's what Cold Blood referenced to. 2016. Quantum Break is now you're running an effort to go day and date on PC. Some of those PC people that came to the Xbox, they're like, okay, well, it's time for us to go back. Because why would I still play on Xbox? And the last thing was the subscription service notion of it. The moment you decided to go with a subscription service, something had to give. You had to cut into the quality of the games. There's a direct correlation to when you put out Game Pass, and then the games went from underwhelming, not really, shaking things up, to an extent, to just piss poor dog shit. When Game Pass came out. So it was like a triple whammy, and Phil didn't manage any of it right. So Savicii says, got 2 pros on day one, very happy with both, and it's only going to be better from here on. Games like Wilds that really show its shine. Here's how I describe it. I think it's going to be from a range of games that really look good, that are like a Stellar Blade-ish or Last of Us whatever, the creme de la creme. 2 games that give you the performance that you expected on the base. It's going to be a range. I think the Sony, here's the irony of this. I think there are going to be two developers that are really going to push the pro enhancements to their limits more than anybody. You know who those two publishers are? I wonder if Colblatt knows who those two publishers are. Colblatt, you know who those two publishers are that are going to push the pro enhancements to the limits? Who you think they are?
Playground Games. And
well, you're close. Yeah, you catch. You're close.
And Coalition.
I'm going to say Microsoft and PlayStation. PlayStation is a publisher. Microsoft. Anything that's published by Microsoft, they're going to go all out. Anything that's published by PlayStation, of course, because it's their hardware, they're going to go all out. But Microsoft has a dire need to get as many sales as possible. So whether you have a Pro, a PlayStation 5, a fucking Vita, PlayStation 4, they want to sell to you. Proof is, not only is it just proof that Forza Horizon 5 is going to be pro enhanced, not only is it proof that Diablo 4 was pro enhanced, not only is it proof that they're out there making these public comments, oh, you were so happy this is pro enhanced. But Call of Duty told you everything that you needed to know. These motherfuckers went through the trouble within a day. Not only did they find out what was the problem that we were seeing rearing its ugly head in these bad pro patches, not only did they get to the root of the problem, they got to the root of the problem in half a day, and they took the time to sit with Digital Foundry and explain it. That is a level of dedication to the PlayStation 5 Pro that only PlayStation would show. That's only second to PlayStation. So if it's a PlayStation game or if it's a Microsoft game, expect it to be pristine day one. On the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now, that doesn't speak to the quality of the game, like if it's a good game or not. But if you're worried about performance or it making your PlayStation 5 Pro feel worth it, you're going to get that from PlayStation 5 published games, Microsoft published games. All the rest of the companies, it's you don't know. It depends. It depends on the game and because here's what I'm saying. You have two games that are going to set precedents here and they're not going to set good precedents. Number one is Monster Hunter Wilds. We're enjoying it on the Pro. People are enjoying it on the Pro. But the performance on the Pro is what people expected on the base, meaning it's poorly optimized. Now, the Pro got enough attention for it to run good, right? And it's enjoyable across the board. But you're going to see more lazy development. When I say lazy development, I mean publishers stepping in and saying, okay, that's good enough. Go ahead. Just put it out there. You're going to see more of that, more and more, after, not only after this game, but then after Grand Theft Auto. If Grand Theft Auto is doo-doo soup on the base consoles, but then again, like Monster Hunter Wilds, it comes to the PlayStation 5 Pro and it's fine on the Pro, you're gonna see a lot more publishers do that. Again, I'm confident in PlayStation published games. I'm confident in, believe it or not, Microsoft published games. Because Microsoft was fine-tuning their games even before the Pro was out. They were fine-tuning them to make them better on PlayStation before the Pro was out. So yeah, I expect those two publishers to really make the Pro sing. Everybody else, we don't know. But that's why I said I feel sorry for a lot of base gamers that are worried about performance. If you're happy with quality modes, and if you're like, oh, these quality modes are fine, then for the most part, I think you guys are going to be okay. I remember when I didn't have my vehicle, my car was getting worked on, and I went to go pick up my PlayStation 5 Pro. Because remember, I was going to order it, and then some bullshit happened, and then I ended up finding a GameStop that had a Pro available. And I went and I had to call an Uber in order to get it. And I was sitting there talking to the Uber driver as I was coming back, and I had it in, and he's like, "Oh, you got what is that?" And I was like, "PlayStation 5 Pro." And he's like, "Oh, what is that?" He wanted me to break it down to him because he had a PlayStation 5 at home, and he was asking me like, "Why are you getting a Pro?" And I started breaking it down to him, and you know what he said to me? He said, "Bro, I don't even know what you're talking about as far as performance mode. Like, what is performance mode? Can you help me understand what performance mode is over quality mode?" Like, he didn't even understand there was a difference. And I was like, yeah, man, it's 60 frames per second. He's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Meaning the average gamer, they don't even pay attention to that stuff. So the average gamer, if you are of the average gamer ilk and you don't care about performance, you're fine on the base. None of this makes sense to you. But if you're one of those gamers that are worried about performance, that like oh, these frames are dropping, I can't, then I'm gonna feel sorry for you when it comes to these non-Microsoft, non-PlayStation publishers, because you're going to see a lot of lazy development because publishers are going to work are going to push them and work them to the bone. So that's what I would say. Expect. What's up, PlayStation Suite? And you're back. Okay. One last thing I want to talk about before we get out of here, and we're going to take some questions too. I want to show you guys this. Where's that? Oh, here it goes. Okay. So this is the MM2K Gaming channel. Definitely come check us out. Check out all the videos that we got up there. The last couple of days, I was able to squeeze out 4 pieces of content. Right here, here goes our members only videos. One of the major thing Digital Foundry apologists missed. Digital Foundry exposed 1 month on the PlayStation 5 Pro. If you are members, you definitely need to check. You need to check out all the content. Like I said, we got a shit ton of content because we do it Monday through Thursday, and then Fridays we got other content that we do for you guys as well. Check out those because we deep dive into this whole thing with Digital Foundry. Why did I make those videos? I made those videos because the last few days I put out 2 videos. Video number 1 was Digital Foundry called out by PlayStation, by gamers for alleged PlayStation Pro hate and Monster Hunter review, right? And when I did that video, that was just a precursor to the members video. I just was breaking down the concerns that people were bringing up. I had showed a tweet from, shout out to Sick Humor, and where he said something. I agreed with him and what he was saying, but I was showing the sentiments that were out there in the community. Man, oh man, oh man, something weird happened. Digital Foundry fanboys, somehow they must have been given the link somewhere, because I was looking at the analytics and the analytics couldn't show me where these people were coming from. Like, no, I remember I did a video about Helldivers 2 one time. And I was like, Helldivers 2, it doesn't make any sense to put it on Xbox, right? And there were a bunch of Helldivers 2 fanboys, believe it or not, that were from PC that flooded that video that were hating on what I was saying. Oh, you fanboy, you PlayStation fanboy, it'll do better if it's on Xbox, right? And I could look at the analytics and see where they were coming from. What happened was, that was back when I was putting videos on TikTok, like putting little teasers on TikTok. They were for some reason, there is a Helldivers 2 community on TikTok that wants the game on Xbox for some stupid god-awful reason, right? Like, them motherfuckers would buy it. Like, if Helldivers 2 isn't free to play, they ain't buying the shit. Anyway. And so they came over and they started talking their goofy, dumb shit, right? And I can see it. And then there's other videos where I've gotten like huge responses from Xbox people or whatever. I can see the trend. I couldn't see the trend. It was like these people were coming from nowhere. So it reminded me of another video that I had several years ago where I went into the Remnant 1 Discord, the game Remnant, and I dropped one of my videos in there, which is me pretty much saluting the game before it came out, like, oh, this is one you're not going to want to miss. And people interpreted that as in, oh, I must have some footage of the game. So as they go and went to go watch my video, they didn't see any gameplay from me. So they started downvoting the video and talking all this shit. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I had to put something in bold. No. This is me just giving kudos to the game and trying to explain to people why they shouldn't miss it and whatever and all that other stuff. That's all this video is. And when I looked at the analytics for that back then, it was like these people came from nowhere and I didn't understand where they were coming from at first. And then I remembered, oh, I put this link in the Discord. So this time around, Digital Foundry people were coming to our videos and talking shit. Couldn't track them. So I surmised something was put in a Discord, which is fine. I don't care. These are like two of our better performing videos. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at our popular video section, there goes the second one, or there goes the first one right there. You know what I'm saying? In the top 4. So, and that's fine. And I had fun smacking them down in the comment section. Here's what I have to say about Digital Foundry. Here's where I got to give Cold Blood his flowers. So I'll end it on this. I'll just say this real quick. If you're a console gamer, Digital Foundry no longer serves any purpose. Did they really serve a serious purpose back in the day besides entertainment purposes? Like if you were really in this, watching this community fanboy fight and you were talking shit here and there and, you wanted to, make fun of a certain sect of fanboys by using a Digital Foundry video. Okay, they were useful ammo for that purpose. But beyond that, like when they were trying to push people to get all creamy knuckled over the Xbox One X, which it worked on me. They over glorified the hardware. To me, they clearly didn't know what the fuck they were talking about in the Xbox One X, and they left out a major dynamic, which was developer effort. And anybody that knows what the fuck they're talking about could have told you from the get-go the developer effort is not going to be there because it's the least selling console. Why would people forsake PlayStation, the motherfucker that's keeping their lights on, to develop for the Xbox One X? Like the only people that did it was Rockstar, and Rockstar just I think they did it just because they don't give a fuck. They're like, we're above PlayStation as far like nobody controls us. We do what the fuck we want to do. We don't even answer to PlayStation. Fuck you. So they did it. Now, that being said, they bamboozled me there, and then I kind of learned they were useless. They were only useful for fanboy fodder ammo and watching people squirm who were talking about GitHub shows that it's RDNA 9.0 and all that, and just watching those people squirm was fun. as Digital Foundry went out there, made these comparisons, and made them eat their words. But outside of that, they're of no use. They did the same thing with the Series X and the Series S. Richard came out there, glazed the Series X and Series S again, actually, spread some doubt about, how the PlayStation, we put some doubt, he assumed that, it would be a challenge for PlayStation 5 to keep up, right? Only for the developers on the periphery to say the complete opposite. I learned better this time. I listened to the developers. Guess what system I got day one? PlayStation 5. And guess who was right? The people that got the PlayStation 5 as far as when it came to performance. You got the biggest bang for your buck. And you got the better catalog of games. All right. Now you see Digital Foundry's content and they're trying to push you towards PC. There's a lot of content out there, Cold Blood, trying to push you to PC, trying to convince you that, what did they say about the PlayStation 5 Pro? Oh, it's underwhelming. And this is the thing that got me. And poor Oliver. Oliver's caught in the middle of this, but again, he's a grown ass man. If I'm Oliver, I'm like, yeah, I can't do this shit anymore. I'm gonna fly solo. So, I feel bad for him, but I don't, because he's not forced to be there. And he's worked up well enough a name. He's sat there with PlayStation. I think PlayStation probably wanted to talk to him directly, said, hey, look, if you're going to send anybody out here, send Oliver. Oliver's built up such a name for himself. He can fly solo and do this, I think with more integrity than everybody else at Digital Foundry. Maybe John Linneman, whether you agree with his takes on gaming or not, I think John Linneman isn't horrible. But the other three, ugh. So anyway, they clearly are making the pivot towards PC. They gave a pass to the 50 series. They glazed the 50 series. 50 series is a scam. You got these PC Master Race people that are telling you the 50 series. Everybody's saying the 50 series is a scam. And only the people that are willing to waste the money on it and get it and just blow V8. Hey, I got the 50 series. Those are the only people that are sitting there acting like the 50 series is the next thing, since the best thing since sliced bread, right? You even got, what's that, Cold Blood, J2 Cents? Even J2 Cents came out here. Big time PC dude came and said, look, with this current trend, PC gaming ain't even worth it. Fuck it and go get a PlayStation 5 Pro. What's Digital Foundry out here saying? You got Tom Farrell, whatever his name is, out here saying, look, the PlayStation 5 Pro is underwhelming. That sentence right there, I'm not going to get mad. That would be a reasonable assessment if it was based upon console expectations. But listen to this. His major points on considering the PlayStation 5 Pro to be underwhelming is PlayStation games are coming to PC faster. So you can play them on PC and it makes it a harder sell. So let me get this right. And Monster Hunter Wilds extenuates this point that I'm about to make. Even though it's not a PlayStation game. I can either spend the $1,300 that you told me I would have to spend, Digital Foundry, to get a comparable PC. I either spend the $1,300 and I wait for the game to come. Anywhere between 14 months to 2 years to 4 years. I pay $1,400 and I wait. And I could likely get an unoptimized piece of crap as far as performance is concerned. Monster Hunter Wilds, even Spider-Man 2. I can do that, or I can get the game in its best shape out of the box, day and date, for almost half that price on the PlayStation 5 Pro. That's your argument of why it's underwhelming? And you got Alex Bugaga sitting there shaking his head, shaking his head like this. And Alex, he's sitting there just, Oliver, he's sitting there stunned. Like, I'm not going to say anything, but oh my God. The sentiment that Tom put out there is the sentiment by the majority of Digital Foundry. They tried to push you to Xbox with the One X. They were dead wrong. They tried to push you to the Series X. They were dead wrong. Now the Series consoles, they were dead wrong. Now that Xbox is bowing out for some god-awful reason, now they're trying to push you to PC. I feel like it's because Xbox is trying to push people to PC. I don't know what's happened, but at some point in time, Xbox started to have a lot of influence on Digital Foundry until they had no choice but to tell the truth and show in the comparisons that the console wasn't doing what they said it was going to do. And now that they've been wrong with the One X, wrong with the Series consoles, they now want to push you over to PC. Console gamers, they hold no value to you anymore. Yes, sir.
Good luck trying that with Monster Hunter Wilds pushing to the PC.
Bruh, that's what is so crazy to me. That's what's so crazy. Like, dude is saying this and he has to know the performance of they had to know while he's saying this, the performance of Monster Hunter Wilds while they're saying this. This is crazy. Shout out to PlayStation Sweden with the 40 sec. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. He says they will never say the PlayStation 5 Pro is the place to game. And this is so crazy, Cold Blood. They said that around the same time that it was exposed that Alex was in that Discord. Y'all can call this tinfoil hat all you fucking want. I don't care. Because, I don't have any conclusive proof on any of this. I'm just sticking to my gut. I think where there's smoke, there's fire. So this is my personal opinion. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't have a problem with Alex. And I'm going to shut up after this and get your thoughts on all this and Digital Foundry, PlayStation 5 Pro, and all that stuff. Here's my thing, Cold Blood. Alex gets exposed in that Discord, and I don't care if you're in a pro Xbox Discord. Like, Oliver would probably be in a pro PlayStation Discord, but it was bigger than that. It wasn't just a pro Xbox Discord. It was a Discord put together to come up with propaganda and lies to make the PlayStation 5 look worse. What the fuck is someone like Alex doing in something like that when you're supposed to be representing this professional, unbiased reviewer of PlayStation and Xbox products? What is he doing in something like that? That wasn't just a pro Xbox Discord. It was an anti-PlayStation propaganda machine. And don't try to tell me otherwise. I know multiple motherfuckers that were in that Discord that explained it just as that. So I hear Alex wasn't that active in there. It doesn't matter. He shouldn't have been here in the first place. What was his desire to be in something like that in the first place? I digress. I pass this on to my good brother, Cold Blood Sensei, to give his thoughts on Digital Foundry as it relates to consoles, because he's been. You got to give him his flowers. He's been saying that they're not worth it. But I'll let Cold Blood say what his thoughts are on all this. What are your thoughts on all this with Digital Foundry, Cold Blood, and the PlayStation 5 Pro?
It took Monster Hunter Wilds to expose these motherfuckers for what they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, they really took their time to tell people the PC version is fucked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That crazy?
and they also did not want it to be compared to the fucking Xbox whatsoever.
Oh, it's nuts.
The Pro, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, they had to do a separate thing with that shit, bro. Like, come on. I immediately told you. Remember, I immediately told you some shady shit is going on.
Mm-hmm. No, you did.
The moment they said, "Oh, the Pro, we're gonna do an extra video," I was like, "Okay, there's something going on here."
Yeah.
And I knew the PC version is gonna be the fucking reason for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because the PC version is a fucking example of just dog shit.
Yep.
And they can push their fucking narrative. Oh, just go to PC now. And
Exactly.
Alex Bugaga is gonna be our new fucking boss. Telling you what the fuck it is. Oh my god. Oh, Alex must be so fucking mad right now.
Oh my god.
Because the most popular game and it's the worst version on PC. Well, maybe not the worst, but so bad.
Yeah, so bad. Yeah.
That he can't go on camera and be fucking all smiley and shit and telling you, oh, look how great it is. PC is the best place to play.
Yeah. Crazy. What do you have to say? I want to know what you think about this logic. No, and the problem isn't if people, because we've had people that have PlayStation 5 Pros that, express some disappointment with it. And that's fine. But what do you think about the theory the PlayStation 5 Pro is a disappointment because PlayStation games are coming to PC, which they've admitted that you got to pay $1,300 for in order to get at least $1,300 to get a comparable PC, and you got to wait for the games to come. What do you think about the theory that the PlayStation 5 Pro is a disappointment because there are $1,300 or more PCs out there that are getting PlayStation games later? What do you think about that logic?
Makes no sense. How you said it right now, that makes no fucking sense. Like, if you are already a PC gamer, you're fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to downplay a fucking console. What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
The only ones that are complaining or saying you're a dumbass, funnily enough, are those with a 2070.
Unbelievable. I mean, look, man, there are a lot of discussions to be had, and we'll have them here. There's a lot of discussions to be had about PlayStation 5 Pro. I want the patches to be looked at. We were the most critical here. Y'all remember that shit? Because y'all started leaving and complaining and sending us Dear John letters. I can't support this channel. If you know what I'm saying? We were here, and we were gracious to see how underwhelming some of these patches, or just plain out bad, some of these patches were. Regardless of our own, not regardless, but ones that we didn't experience, but we were going off our own experience. Remember, we got, shout out to Corey, but we got into it with Corey over the Silent Hill one. And because my brother's like, Corey's telling my brother, believe me, not your lying eyes. You know what I'm saying? We're like, what the fuck is going on here? So we're here we will criticize where criticisms can be made. But here's my thing. You're a digital foundry. You made a name for yourself critiquing blades of grass, for crying out loud. You guys, and correct me if I remember this wrong, Cold Blood, when they were looking at Space Marines recently, Space Marines 2, I think they compared all of them. And they were showing where the Xbox Series X still had some better performant frames or something like that, even than the Pro. Like they've shown games, especially when the patches were bad. Oh, they would show you the Series X, you know, is doing this in this game and it's better than the Pro. You know what I mean? And that's fine. Like, yeah, put that out there. And Cold Blood and I was like, what the fuck is Sony? What are you doing? We were in tune with that. But if you're sitting there, if the Pro outperforming the other consoles in a particular game, in a particular popular game, you don't want to show that. Yeah, you may put in your title is the best way to play on console. So I go click on that and I go to see it, and all you're talking about is PlayStation 5. Well, that doesn't answer my question on Series X. And I know how YouTube analytics work because I got to add a whole bunch of Digital Foundry apologists. Well, all you got to do is watch both videos. The funnel doesn't work like that. If I'm putting in PlayStation 5 Pro, Monster Hunter Wilds, I am assuming that you're comparing it to all the consoles like you normally do. So when I don't see the Series X there, it's likely I'm not even going to be putting the funnel to even see that. I'm just going to see your PlayStation 5 versus PlayStation 5 Pro comparison. So I'm stuck like Chuck. I know how this works. They know how it works too because they create videos every day. That's why they did it like that. And that's why, like you said, Cold Blood, come on now. What are we doing here? That PC video came, you know what I mean? Why? Because you just sat there, you had the audacity to sit there and say, well, yeah, well, the PlayStation 5 Pro is a disappointment because you can pay double the price and wait a couple years longer and you can get the game on PC. What? That has no correlation. That doesn't speak to console gamers at all. You clearly are pulling a Microsoft and making a pivot from putting the console gamer at the center of your thought process to now PC. And that's fine. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do, but be transparent about it. So you Digital Foundry apologists, come make our videos rank high. I don't give a fuck. You're artificially pumping up our videos, which only help us out. You're giving us the subscribers. We love it. But that's not going to shut us up. You don't have the intelligence. You don't have the prowess. You don't have the balls to be able to shut us up. Bring it on. We love it. But something I will tell you. Do not come here. If you want to walk away unscathed, do not come here defending bullshit like that. It'd be different if Digital Foundry never made the comparison with the Pro and the Series. If they've always just did the 5 and the Pro separately. Okay, fine, whatever. I mean, it would still be kind of weird why they wouldn't want to do it, because you're not helping consumers see the radial of choices that they have. Like, you know, what if I'm a Series X consumer and I'm like, I do want to make the leap to the PlayStation, but should I get the Pro? Show me what it's like from the Series X to the Pro. You know what I'm saying? Like, show me everything. But if you weren't doing it before, that's fine. You were doing it before. And only until that Discord got launched or got double exposed, because it was exposed before, but not only until that Discord got exposed did you go revisit a review that you did for the Pro and say, you know what, on second thought it was disappointing. B, come out and give this illogical excuse on why the PlayStation 5 Pro is disappointing because of PC. And then lastly, only for why you're saying this dumb shit, you know what the outcome is going to be for Monster Hunter Wilds. So you go out there and you do a separate video. You segment the video in a way that you would never segment it before. And then this god-awful PC port that got it fucking the rating in the 30s, you had that come out 100 years later. See, it's not just one particular thing. You got to put everything together like a stack of dominoes and you can see the pattern. So the ending message is digital. It's clear. Let's not sit here and play these games like people had to play these games with Xbox and wait for Xbox to officially say, yeah, well, we don't care about the console no more. Don't be that dummy to wait for Digital Foundry to have to tell you that verbatim. They are not for the console gamer anymore. They're moving on. They may still do console compares because they know where the bulk of their base is at, but they are not for the console gamer anymore. And really, whether they were for the console gamer or not, they weren't really useful. They weren't. It's like my brother always told you. Who cares what Digital Foundry says? What the fuck does your eyes tell you? And outside of poking fun at some fanboys, they have no use. And I hate saying that. Go ahead.
What happened to Linneman?
Yeah, what was that tech? Was that Unreal 5 tech or some shit? What was that again?
I'm just asking where the fuck Linneman went.
Oh, Linneman.
I don't see
you. I thought you said Lumen. No, you said John Linneman.
No. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and again, I don't have any proof of this. If I had to guess, because like I said, the two ones that I would trust what they have to say, I wouldn't necessarily agree with their takes. Well, I would, for the most part, Oliver. John Linneman, I wouldn't agree with his personal takes, but I would trust his analysis on stuff because he seems to be unbiased. But it seems like to me that John maybe sees the change. And see, John is he's a what do you call it? A physical copy enthusiast. So he's not all, I mean, he's into PC gaming, but he's not into PC gaming all like that because he likes his physical copies. You know what I'm saying? Now there could be other reasons, but if I had to guess, I'm thinking he's probably looking at what Digital Foundry is doing. You know, maybe under Richard. I don't know who's in charge. I would assume it's Richard. But he's probably looking at the turn of Digital Foundry, and he's probably backing up a little bit. Because John, to me, seems like more of a console guy. And I think it's very clear that, you know, he's not favorable of Xbox, and that's understandable. So if you're not favorable of Xbox and you're not favorable of PC, I don't think you have a place at Digital Foundry. So I think Oliver has a place at Digital Foundry because Oliver is their pipeline to PlayStation for one, and for two, he is interested in PC. They don't need John as a pipeline to Xbox. He's not really super fond of Xbox in the first place. And B, I don't think John is all that super excited about making the pivot towards PC because he's all about physical copies and quote unquote game preservation. Which that's his take. I'm not upset about it. All gamers don't need to be the same. So I just think that he's either backing up or he's being pushed to the periphery. Shout out to Corey. Corey said they said in a video that they were only going to cover Pro if they found an issue with the Pro implementation of games. They thought this was going to get swept under the rug like all the other criticism. Oh, for real? I missed that one. That one, Corey.
Wait. So they're going to just make a Pro video.
Mm-hmm.
But it's bad.
Yeah, but it's bad.
What the fuck?
Right.
That's literally admitting to it.
Mm-hmm. Corey, if you can find that link, go ahead,
yeah,
brother.
please
DM us.
send us the song.
Yeah, send it to us in the Discord because you send me shit in Discord before. If you get a chance to find it, I would like to see that if you get a chance to find it. But fuck Digital Foundry, bro. And again, when I say fuck Digital Foundry, I mean fuck them.
Bro, wait. Imagine I would just sit here and tell you, I'm only gonna give you my thoughts on an Xbox game that I played when it's fucking bad.
If it sucks, yeah.
Like, bro, what the fuck? Who would want to listen to me at that point?
Bro, this shit it's crazy. You see what I'm saying? It's psycho. You're not here to help the consumer. And this is why I theorize. I'll be the first to admit it. Tinfoil hat, you call it whatever you want. I theorize. Don't have any evidence on this. I'm just looking at situations and seeing patterns that make me think the following is happening. I think it's happening. Remember when I told you guys that Sarah Bond was behind This Is an Xbox campaign? I knew that. And I also told you guys that she was behind, which this hasn't fully come out yet, but you can look at what she said to that one podcaster dude from Iron Lord's podcast that he admitted to and said that Sarah Bond told me this during a showcase or whatever in person, versus the same bullshit and rhetoric that was told to Digital Foundry, IGN, and Paul Tassi. Aren't those three strange entities to go to? When you got breaking news behind the scenes, why wouldn't you go to Jeff Grubb? Why wouldn't you go to J.C. Schreier? Oh, because J.C. Schreier, Jeff Grubb would call out the bullshit? That's why. So it's my theory that if she told that to that podcaster, she's and they ordained the person as someone that would have personal knowledge of what's happening. That's Sarah Bond. That's Sarah Bond, in my opinion. Right? For them, they gave her this prestige description. Someone that would have close personal knowledge of what's going on. It's Sarah Bond, as far as I'm concerned. I feel like Sarah Bond, again, you got to understand that Xbox or Microsoft Gaming, which is Phil Spencer's in charge of, that includes the games being made and published, they don't give a fuck if the hardware underperforms. They are now in the mind state that Satya, because Satya is one, they are in the mind state of, look, we have hardware, but the hardware will have to sell itself. We're all about putting our software everywhere, and we're all about boosting up everybody else's hardware because it'll boost up our software. Our hardware will have to sell itself. But regardless if our hardware is around or not, we'll be fine. Like, for instance, if the Surface tablets go away tomorrow, Microsoft will be like, oh, well, Surface is gone. Okay. It's not going to affect the bottom line in any severe fashion. So, as it relates to these games, Phil, Matt Booty, and whoever, Craig Duncan, I believe it is, they're fine with putting their games day and date on PlayStation, doing shit like they're doing where these games are pro enhanced, like Forza 5. You're getting modes you're not even getting on Xbox. So your flagship title has shit in it that your own hardware can't even do. Right? They don't care about that. But Sarah Bond has the difficulty of trying to find a way to convince gamers that, hey, you can play on your Fire Stick or whatever via the cloud, or you can just go over to PC. She's trying to keep people from doing the mass exodus too much, just in enough time so they can roll off this handheld or whatever, so they can maintain their sales on microtransactions for DLC and all the other shit, because that's a huge chunk of their income. So she has that difficult task. If people go to PlayStation base, okay, that's fine. She's probably surmising I could probably win them back because it's just the base. I could probably win them back by getting them to come to this handheld or whatever we're doing, because everything we're doing here on out is all about PC infrastructure. But if these motherfuckers go to the Pro, if these motherfuckers go to the PlayStation 5 Pro, and they keep running into instances like Monster Hunter Wilds, and they're like, hold on, you want me to pay at least $1,300 over there for that? Fuck out of here. She'll never win them back. They are PlayStations forever. Tinfoil hat theory. If she has that type of rapport with Digital Foundry and Paul Tassi and whoever weird group at IGN that she's connected to, what's to say, and this is me just running the street, what's to say that she ain't dropping, hey, you guys want to do me a favor? Xbox is moving to PC. We really like for people to see the benefits of console gamers, to see the benefits of moving to PC. More so than the Pro. Thank you. You have a wonderful day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's beyond fathomable. That's just my opinion. In my opinion, she's already reached out to them and gave them the cockamamie Wukong was money had it thing. And how do I surmise it's her? She told the one podcaster who said, yes, Sarah Bond's the one that told me. Who else but Sarah Bond would reach out? Come on, y'all, think about it. Who else but Sarah Bond would reach out to Digital Foundry, right, for some news like that? Paul Tassi in IGN. That's just my theory that I'm running. I know a lot of people have theories. That's just the theory I'm running with. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that, you know, while filling them and smoking cigars and shit, and, you know, planning trips to Cancun, Phil, Craig, and Matt Booty, and everybody's happy. Sarah Bond's like, but this is making my job even more difficult. And if these Series X people, if they don't just go to the PlayStation 5 base, they go to the Pro, oh, I'm not getting them back. We're not getting them back. Because they're going to look at the Pro, they're going to play the Pro, and they're going to say, hold on. All I had to do was pay $700 for this. If I pay $700 for your handheld, right? I'm not getting nothing like this. Because, you know, their handheld isn't going to be cheap. If I pay $700 for your handheld, I'm not getting nothing like this at all. See, y'all forgot about Ally and all that other shit. The shit ain't, you think that motherfucker's going to be like, what, $249 and shit? It's going to be $600, $700, $800. They're going to be like, hold on, I paid $700 for the Pro. I got all this. I paid $600, $700, $800 for this. I'm not getting output like that. Oh, fuck no, Xbox. You know, I'm staying over here. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I think is going on. But I could be wrong. Let's go to the chat. PlayStation 5 Sweden says, yes, true. Like Destin and Ryan saying PC is also an Xbox. Yeah. Let me see. I read, he says they said in the video they were going to cover the Pro. Yeah, if you find it, let me know, Corey. Just DM it to me. That'd be very interesting if you can come across it. DF is going to hate on the Pro because it's better than most of the PC builds out there, and the master Microsoft can't allow that. Yeah, that's kind of like that's kind of like what I was hinting towards is that. Can you just think about it, y'all? And again, this is just all theory. Them handhelds come out, bro. Them handhelds ain't going. What you think they're going to be $499? If them PC S handhelds come out and they're $499, they're going to have the power of the Series S, right? In order for Microsoft to compete, cold blood, what's the cheapest Steam Deck? Like the cheapest Steam Deck is like what? Ain't it like $500 or some shit?
I don't know, maybe 400.
Let me see here. Steam Deck.
Actually, yeah, you could just go to Steam.
Let's look at Steam Deck.
I think 400 or something by now.
Okay.
It was 500 when it launched.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for me it's 419 euros.
Okay, here we go. So here we go, y'all. Okay. So for $400, you can get a 256 gigabyte LCD Steam Deck that has a 1280 800 LCD display, a 7-inch diagonal display rate, up to 60 hertz, Wi-Fi 5, 40 hour. Now I'm wondering if I hook this motherfucker up and try to use it like a computer, or I dock it, what do I get docked? I don't know. Okay, this Steam docking connects your Steam Deck to external displays. Why? I would like to know how much you get docked. Tech specs. Okay, display.
I think 1080p, right?
1080p? Okay. Might be right. Yeah, doesn't tell you. Fact. Well, they don't have. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so 1080p is likely what you're getting here. Maybe 1440p docked. Maybe. I doubt it. But
no, I mean you cannot go any higher than what the fuck it is without putting Windows on it. But if you put Windows on it, you can put it at 4K if you want to.
Okay, I got you.
But your Steam Deck ain't playing on 4K. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it is not playing at 4K and not no 60 at all. Yeah, if 30, like if you got it like on the desktop, yeah.
Bro, you'd be lucky if 1 FPS comes through.
So that's what I'm saying, y'all. Like, look at this shit. This is after a price, after they lowered the price. So as far as Microsoft, look, they're done losing money on hardware. So if you're looking at 400, 550, 650, for those of you that want something comparable to what you were getting, you look around $700, $800, six, seven, and $8. They're not going to lose money on this anymore. So, and trust me, and console gamers, y'all care about portability like that. Xbox, let's be real. Xbox console, how many, how many of y'all care about portability? So how many of y'all, are playing on your phones right now? Because you can play xCloud on your phone, right? So how many of y'all playing on your phones consistently? Right? If portability was that such a big thing for y'all, there would be a lot more activity via the cloud. And I'm not saying nobody plays, on xCloud. I'm not saying that at all. But it's not going to, it's not a mainstream way for y'all to play. Why? Because the output isn't as great. Now you look at something like the Portal. That's why the Portal was successful. People were willing to buy an extra peripheral for it because the output is great. But here, you guys, for $650, right? $50 less than the PlayStation 5 Pro. You're getting nowhere near the performance that you can get on the Pro. They're giving you ray traced 4K. You're not getting that for $700 on these machines. You understand what I'm saying? It's more of an easier sell if you happen to used to be an Xbox gamer. You go to the base PlayStation, and let's just say you go to the base PlayStation and you go to the PlayStation Digital, right? You go there. Okay. It's an easier sale to say, all right, we got these handhelds now, and they're, 4, 5, 6, and they're a little bit pricier, you know what I'm saying? Well, on the base consoles, you were getting better performance, but you had to make some sacrifices, right? Because they're the base consoles. It's an easier sell. And especially, I feel like a lot of people that do make the exodus from Xbox to PlayStation, they might just pick up the digital, right? Okay, fine. Not a problem. It's a lot harder sell if I say, you know what? Nah, fuck that. I was made all these promises this generation, particularly by Xbox. And I know this Pro is pricey, but I got the money and I want that shit, man. I want everything that I was promised this generation. And you go to the Pro. Once you play on the Pro and you play for $700, let's take, for instance, Grand Theft Auto 6. Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to change everything. That's why these motherfuckers is working early. You play Grand Theft Auto 6 for your $700. Hell, I don't know if there's even going to be a price cut by the time GTA 6 comes out. Who knows? Or even if it's a seasonal one, you might get a price cut of $50, a seasonal one around the time GTA 6 launches. So you pay $640, $700 for your PlayStation 5 Pro. You're getting all this performance. Xbox comes out with its handheld, and it's giving you this. Well, let's go to what was it? Asus ROG Ally. Asus ROG Ally. Let's look at the Asus ROG Ally handhelds. Let's look at these motherfuckers. Let's look at it. Let's look at the output and the performance there. Okay. Whatever. Okay. See here, they're not giving you the price here. Oh, they don't give you the price. Okay, I ain't got time for this shit. Let's go. Let's go. The fuck? Let's go to Best Buy. Right? Let's do what they want us to do. Let's go to Best Buy. Let's look at this Z1 Extreme. Let's see what we're getting with this Z1 Extreme. Okay, so the Z1 Extreme. Oh, okay. So right now you can save $200. It's on sale, so you can save $200 on it. It's normally $649, right? Maximum output graphic quality is 1080p. Let's show the full specs. It's 1080p is the maximum output. Let me see, what's the hertz? Do they show you the hertz? Tell you what Wi-Fi it is? No, it doesn't tell you. Okay, I don't see the hertz. See features. I'll tell you the features, windows. But 1080p, y'all. For 1080p, you wouldn't. Right now, you can get it for $450, but for 1080p, you're asked to pay $700. Right. Okay. All right. Now let's see. Best Buy has this Z1, which I would assume is cheaper. Oh no, you can get I guess the Extreme. I don't know that for some reason the Extreme is the same price as the regular Z1. So I think the Z1 Extreme has a more powerful processor, maybe. And maybe the Extreme is okay, yeah, it's a different processor. And maybe the Extreme is, I don't know. I have no idea. But the fact of the matter is that for $500 or for $450, you can get 1080p. Normally for $650, they're giving you 1080p. I don't know if you can get ray traced. Maybe with this new processor, you can get ray traced. I don't know. Let's see, how long does it take to charge it? Show more. See all questions. But here, I'm going to tell you this. If you're wanting something comparable to what you're getting with the Series S, with the Series S, Jesus Christ, with the Pro, you're not getting it from these handhelds. And once somebody goes to one of these handhelds, and once somebody goes to the Pro from the base console, and then you put these handhelds in their face, they're going to tell you to suck an egg. Especially if I got a Pro, and for an additional $199, I can get a Portal, which that'll give me 1080p on the go. I'm going to tell you to suck an egg. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Come on. I think Microsoft or somebody at Microsoft knows the danger of that. And that's why I think there's influence over this crap that Digital Foundry is trying to tell us right now. Scoop says, and oh, by the way, where are all these $700 PCs? Exactly. Yeah, there are none. There were never any. Look, Scoop, one of the I'm not going to mention their name. We're not highlighting idiocy here. One of the people that sit there and tell you about these $700 PCs this generation, they were giving you the same bullshit last generation, right? And then when you asked them to break it down, there were used parts and eBay rigs and all this. There is none. Digital Foundry themselves, who want you to go to PC, they admit it. You want something comparable to the Pro, you got to drop $1,300. So, says PC hardcore is just a couple of % by state of the art cards. And they're not getting the biggest bang for the buck because they're paying all this money to brute force great performance, and they're not even getting it. The motherfuckers were pissed with Dragon's Dogma 2. So now they're seeing their own vulnerability, because remember they used to say, oh, well, that don't happen to me. I got a 2080, or that don't happen to me. I got a 3090 Ti, or what, you know what I'm saying? Now they can't even say that, bro. They can't even say that anymore. Oh, that ain't gonna happen to me. Oh, hell no. These games is coming out hot. So they're not even getting the biggest bang for their buck. And here's the fact of the matter. For AAA gaming, we've seen the potential of games like Black Myth Wukong, Monster Hunters at the moment, Helldivers, which really ain't AAA, but for AAA gaming, for the most part, consistently, they sell more on PlayStation. You do have these outliers to where a certain game will just blow up on Steam, but consistently the trends lean towards PlayStation is going to sell the most AAA games. Why? Because when you look at the data, you find out it looks like less than 20% can even play these games in recommended settings. That means 80% of the people out there on Steam, when the Steam surveys come out, they are hard pressed to play these AAA games at recommended settings. So when you boil it down, there are more people that can play these AAA games in an optimized fashion than can on PC based upon the PC Steam surveys. So consistently, the AAA marketplace is most lucrative on PlayStation. That's why it just doesn't make any sense to sit there and say to a console gamer, when it comes to these patches, I mean, not patches, when it comes to the poor optimization on PC, to tell a console game, can you, cold blood, can you imagine? You're a console gamer, right? And you remember, just channel that, go back to 2019. Remember when I was freaking out, you told me to calm the fuck down. Just imagine, and I was freaking out because I didn't have powerful enough hardware. But imagine a console gamer who's a noob, like how I was back then. You actually spent a whole bunch of money. You spent thousands on your PC. Your graphics card is $2,000. You got the best processor. Imagine if you go out there and you do this. And you look back, you look over your shoulder, because you're like, yeah, I spent $3,000 on this, $2,000, whatever, you know, so I'm going to be better than the console. And you look over your shoulder and the PlayStation 5 Pro at a fraction of that cost is playing that game better. A fucking noob ass console gamer is going to flip the fuck out, curse his PC, try to sell it off, and never come back to PC again. Never come back to it again. And you, a foundry of tech experts that tried to make a name for yourself by showing console gamers particularly how to get the biggest bang out of your buck. Yeah, this Xbox is $500, this PlayStation is $400, but which one is really performing better? Well, this one has better blades of grass. You were getting so in the muck and mire that you couldn't find anything definitive except for blades of grass. And again, people get on your case about that. I mocked it, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you're making me pay more for this console. And even though it's just blades of grass, the fact of the matter is it is performing better somewhere. And overall, the edge comes to the cheaper device. And if we keep seeing that trend, that lets me know that the cheaper device is more worth it. So I couldn't be mad at you about that. You went from doing that to now saying, oh, double the price, wait longer for the games. It's more worth it. Like, stop it. All right, I went well over time. Munfish is going to kill me. Last comment I'll read and then we're going to get out of here. It consistently leans console, PlayStation 5 for the most part. And as you said, there are only a very few outliers, Elden Ring being the most recent before Monster Hunter Wilds. Exactly. Yeah. Cold Blood, you have any final thoughts before we get out of here, man? You have any special words for Digital Foundry?
Not really, no. Not to Digital Foundry, because at this point they exposed themselves so much. The only dudes that gonna watch them from now on are either those not in the know, or I don't know, maybe some fucking bots, I guess, still gonna watch them.
Yeah.
Just to hear them say another disappointing PS5 Pro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if again, no pressure, Corey. I don't want to, like, you know, like we own your time and shit like that. If you happen to come across it, you know, shoot it to us. But yeah, if we actually get that section, oh my God. you know I'm leaning on that motherfucker like crazy. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Crazy. All right. Let's get out of here, y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming through. I know we did this at a weird time. And again, the Discord is pinned up top. Let me end this poll. Let me get the final results of this poll. Yeah, the Discord is pinned up the top. Join us in the Discord, man. We're going to have some great gaming, some great times, and even watch some cool anime. You know, cross y'all fingers, because my fingers is crossed. Look, I don't give a fuck if she's even listening. Cross y'all fingers that my wife gets accepted at this school and the motherfucking classes are on Saturdays. Please. You know what I'm saying? Look out for your boy. Love you, sweetie. Anyway, how happy are you with the Monster Hunter Wilds on PlayStation 5 Pro? We had 36 votes. 63% said very happy. 13% said moderately happy. Another 13% said no, or not happy, I meant to say, don't have a Pro. And 8% said so-so. Right? Yeah, and hit that member button. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed. Hit that member button. We got a lot of crazy content. There's even shit that I didn't even say in this podcast as far as my theory. I deep dive the background. All that stuff is in the members content. And then like we said, there's a lot more coming with the member stuff. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. Till next time. Have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.